we'll start a couple minutes early. We got a lot of people here. How's everybody? How was your morning? Mine has sure been interesting. As you can see, I've added some Katamari music to the playlist, because after the anime video, I realized I can get away with playing, Katamari music on YouTube! So hooray! We can pep up the playlist a little bit. I've taken off a few of the more drony and atonal dated songs, as much as I like them. They are a bit, I don't know, hard on the ears, so... I've added in a few new songs that I found out I can play, so hooray! Yeah, Lily sure posted a video. And apparently said I would think she finds genital mutilation funny because she said something about circumcision. I'm at a loss. And also she says I'm loud. Wow, like everyone who watches me doesn't know I'm fucking loud. I'm not very loud today because I'm tired, but... We're just gonna be working on the James Somerton thumbnail again today, which I end up just completely re-inking little Anthe Side-chan because I went back and looked at what I inked during the Dungeon Meshi coverage, and, like, it was awful. It was bad! I was too distracted yelling at Lily. I'll cover the siblings video eventually. I'm still taking, like, 2 weeks off of, reacts for now. Though, the next big event, guys, the next big event we are going to have is I am going to stream all 3 Dragon Age games because the fucking 4th game finally has a release date-ish after 10 fucking years. And I had always wanted to stream all 3 Dragon Age games in the lead up to the next one. But when I was just on Twitch streaming to like 20 people, nobody cared. Nobody cared but me. So nobody watched my Dragon Age 2 playthrough and I kind of gave up. But I would love to just go back through Origins 2 and Inquisition all before, Veilguard comes out. I almost called it Dreadwolf. They changed the name on us at the last fucking minute. God damn it. No, I will not stop getting into fights with retards. Damn it, it's my hobby, Kaiser! Aren't women allowed to have hobbies, Kaiser? Anyway. Everybody's all excited about things today, but yeah. So, I know I said I was gonna let you guys vote on which game I play next, but, fuck you, we're doing Dragon Age. I am going to continue my grand master evil plan of getting people into all the shit I'm into. So now I have people into Steven Universe, I have people into Utena, and next is Dragon Age, god damn it. You guys have no idea how crazy I am about Dragon Age. The fandom has just been dormant. The Dragon Age fandom has been slowly awakening all over the internet, and they're already making memes. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful, beautiful sight. We're a very healthy fandom. I played Wani because you bought it for me, and then I kept playing it because it was fun, Kaiser. I was only gonna play it like the one night, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute. Oh, you have a name for it now, Jaden? That's cool. Let's see. You got blocked by Lily on Bisky, so did I. You just asked her about what she thought about the beef between Kendrick and Drake, and she blocked you? That's some Drake-ass behavior there, Lily. Oh, we got some highlighted chats. Lily is the kind of person to say, not to be racist, but say something extremely racist. Because she does that. She did that in the fucking Steven Universe videos. Did you happen to read Kakeguri Twin? No, I have not. I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. I'm an influence. Is that a good or a bad thing? I think that's for you guys to decide. I am just me. I'm just a little gremlin on the internet saying shit. I can tell you a lot about Solus. I fucking romanced Solus on my first character, because I made a female elf on my first Inquisition character, and I was gonna romance Sarah, because I was so excited there was finally, like, a lesbian character. Like, there's been bisexual characters before, this one was a lesbian. But then she was really annoying, and she was racist against the Dalish. So I was like, well, I'm playing a female elf, and only female elves can romance Solus, so I might as well romance Solus to see what that's about. And this is what I get for doing my first hetero romance in Dragon Age. Now he's trying to destroy the fucking world. Well, no, he's trying to save the world from the last time he tried to save the world. He's really bad at it, guys. Solus is really bad at saving the world. And he just keeps making things worse. He really needs to stop. I'm talking about the main villain of the next Dragon Age game, by the way. It's really not a spoiler anymore to say he was the big bad all along. But if you go through Dragon Age Inquisition, you think he's a normal dude. Well, you might. I was suspicious of him, and then I was lulled into a false sense of security. And at the end of the game, it's revealed what his true identity is. And then if you play through the game a second time, all of his dialogue has a double meaning. And it's like, I was just pointing at my computer screen like, you motherfucker! Hey, I romanced Josephine as my female mage, okay? So Josie's romance is very cute. I was just already, like, committed to the Solus path by the time I realized how cute Josie is. So, the new dating and dragon sim, we all joke that Dragon Age games are really just a complicated dating sim, which is not wrong. I mean, if you like the romances and stuff in Baldur's Gate, that's pretty much what it's based on. Dragon Age and BioWare, like, Mass Effect are kind of like the OGs of that. I'm gonna try to work on little, I got some pictures of James Summerton's face in another tab that I'm gonna use as reference to try to make my little cartoon James look better. I think I'm just gonna sketch for right now. The only experience with DA is the zero punctuation reviews. Well, I have to say, even as a DA fan, him calling Hawk and Friends from Dragon Age 2 the neighborhood watch was pretty fucking funny and not inaccurate. So, Revolutionary Boy Utaro. I mean, yeah, I guess that works, Jaden. Did I need to feel seen and represented in Star Wars The Acolyte? Don't you know, like, only the OG Star Wars exists? Look, I'm an OG, I am an old school hater, okay? I hate the prequels. I hate the sequels. I hate everything they're doing now. I only care about the original Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, Dragon Age 2 is really more where Dragon Age started to develop this, more swashbuckling kind of feel to it. It's really where the series started to get its own identity, because Dragon Age Origins, while it's great, and while it does have very unique lore and world building, is very much kind of a rote dark fantasy. When I do stream it, I'm going to be, like, modding it. So, like, I have, like, the cooler looking Grey Warden armor from, like, 2 and 3 and stuff, so that's what I usually do. The Netflix show was pretty good. It was just okay. I mean, it wasn't bad or, like, fantastic. It was fine. I enjoyed it. It gave us a really big fucking cliffhanger at the end of what might be going on in Kirkwall right now, which made me, yeah. And also the ending of the gameplay trailer they just showed got me extremely fucking excited. Actually, let me just show that to you guys real quick, because you guys aren't gonna know what the fuck is going on, but... See, Dragon Age, Veilguard. I have to... Yeah, people are already saying the same... There's other fans already saying the same shit I'm saying. But I know I got some Dragon Age homies in here who might know what the fuck I'm talking about. So if you don't, well, this is going to be a little preview. We're not gonna look at the whole thing, but this is at the very end. They're stopping Solus from doing some kind of ritual, and some shit goes down. And this had me screaming. Like, we just fucked Solus over, whatever he was just trying to do here. We thought he was trying to tear down the veil, but something else happens. And that's the custom player character is this guy that is like their example guy. Uh-oh, what's that behind him? What could those be? Oh, shit, I think I know what that is! Haha. So if any people in here who are Dragon Age fans and know what the Evanurus are, you probably just shat your pants. I will say that much right there. That's, you gotta be a real fucking Dragon Age nerd, though, to know what the fuck the Evanurus are. So, look, Dragon Age Origins, it really hasn't aged well, and I never liked the gameplay, even back in 2009. So, like, I honestly never would have gotten through the game if it wasn't for the world building and the lore and the characters. You might hear some outside noises today. I have my window open. Actually, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Oh, close my window. I was trying not to have my fan on today so you guys wouldn't fucking have to hear it. But, oh great, what did I do with my drawing pen now? Anyway, I was talking about Dragon Age. Completely lost my pen. God damn it, give me another second. I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. I put it down on my bed when I went to close my window. Anyway, I got interrupted. So, Dragon Age Origins, you slept with Zevran on accident? Sure you did. You knew what Zevran was saying when he offered you a massage. You can get Ninja Mance by Liliana, though, that's for sure. Anyway, Origins, like... Origins doesn't, hasn't aged very well. The gameplay is pretty stiff, and like I said, even back in 2009, I did not like the gameplay, but I really fell in love with the world, and I really fell in love with the lore, so that is what I play Dragon Age for. I don't give a shit about the gameplay at all, and the gameplay in each game is kind of bad in its own way, you know, a lot of the time. Should I sketch over this or just work on the sketch? I think I'll just work on the sketch. So, yeah. But, that's my plan, though. I am going to stream all 3 Dragon Age games, and I'm going to explain the lore to you, because you all seem to like what I lore dump, and I like to lore dump, and I have said before, if you think I'm crazy about Steven Universe, you have not heard me fucking talk about Dragon Age. You really haven't. But the fandom has been dormant for, like, the last 8 years, you know? Like, we've had nothing. It's been a running gag in the Dragon Age fandom that, like, every time there's, like, a big gaming show or, you know, E3 comes around, we all just put on our clown makeup because we know there's not going to be a Dragon Age announcement, but we still hope there's going to be, you know? So, no, we're not watching that today, Pastel. I am not doing any reacts for a little while. People who have only gotten into me might not know that I don't always do reacts. A lot of the times I just do this Wednesday art stream where I just draw and we talk, and that's about all we do. So, I'm sorry if that's a little unexciting, but, oh god, if I try to do reacts every single week, I will be so fucking exhausted. Especially with Lily. Especially with fucking Lily. The dungeon meshy one nearly killed me. Yeah, right, it's been 84 years. I mean, seriously, look how gray Varric is. Though, see, the thing is, that's the other thing. I don't trust any Dragon Age games after this one, because they fired Mary Kirby a little while ago, and Mary Kirby is the lore keeper of Orlais, and the lore keeper of the Kunari, so those are 2 of the most complicated civilizations in the entire series, and she's also the creator of Varric fucking Tethris, who, since Dragon Age 2, has basically been the mascot of the series. And I've been like, y'all better just fucking kill him in this game, because there's no way you can write him without Mary Kirby. Like, he is her baby! Yeah, why would they just fire one of the female writers on the games who has been there since the beginning and, like, keeps track of so much of the most complicated lore in the series, you know? Sorry, Jaden, we're talking about Dragon Age right now. Helldivers? Actually, my friend Celeste is into Helldivers. Maybe she'll get me into that. Trying to keep up with the chats now. But yeah, so I'm glad a lot of you guys are, like, really excited about me wanting to stream Dragon Age, because, like I said, my audience before I blew up, really didn't fucking care, and now I can make you all watch my, my Hawk and Fenris kiss. I think the general plan what I'm gonna do, I think, is, like, Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, I'm gonna play as, like, my canon characters. Though this is gonna make my playthrough a bit of a sausage fest if I do it this way. I'm drawing my thumbnail for my James Somerton Utena cut. Oh god, yeah, I know. See, Hazuruki in the chat knows my fucking pain at hearing the words, "They fired Mary Kirby." Like, I don't trust the series at all without her. Because I kept telling myself, as long as Mary Kirby is still on the Dragon Age team, I'm not worried about the future of the games. And then they fucking fired her. It's fantasy. I would say dark fantasy, but yeah, so like my main Dragon Age Origins character is male because I like Kieran to be around, but I don't like making Alistair do it. No one knows that that's a reference if you haven't played Origins. And then Dragon Age 2, I did play a female character first, and I romanced Meryl, and I kind of had a little tryst with Isabella, because why wouldn't you? And then I said, well, so for my second character, I'll roll a male character, and I'll make myself a mage, and I'll romance Fenris, because Fenris is pretty interesting, and you learn more about characters with a romance. And I caught so many feels for that romance that is now my canon. I can't not play my son boy and his grumpy boyfriend anymore. But with Inquisition, as much as I love my little Arlen Lavellin, she's a very cute rogue who romanced Solus. And of course my Rhea, who is a human mage who romanced Josephine, as much as I love those two. What I kind of want to do for Inquisition is I want to play as a male Kunari mage who is really on board with being the Herald of Andraste and romances Cassandra, because I think that would be really, really funny. So I guess I'll play a chick in the new one. I usually play a female character first when I play BioWare games. So then, that's the thing. Because a while ago, a friend of mine was like, well, why don't you stream the new game blind? And at first I was like, well, no, I like my first playthrough with a Dragon Age game to be like really personal and stuff. But then I thought about it and I was like, actually, streaming the brand new game blind, but with all of my Dragon Age knowledge could actually be really interesting, you know? Honestly, I don't care for Bull. I don't care for Bull. I think he's a little underwritten. I like a lot of the concepts around him, but I think he's really underwritten. I think Patrick Weeks had his hands full of Solus and Cole, and Bull got a little neglected. The Josephine romance is very, very sweet, and it's great that it ends in, like, a goofy-ass sword fight. And also, I was playing a mage, so my mage character, she's usually really level-headed and stuff, but I had her, like, just jump right into dueling a dude for her girlfriend's hand in marriage, and she had no idea what the fuck she was doing, and it was hilarious. I think I have gifs of it somewhere where I just like added commentary of her being like, how do I sword? I'm a mage! And of course Josephine breaks up the fight like, what are you doing? At least if you're bad at it. If you're good at the sword fight, you know, it goes a little differently, but if you're bad at the sword fight, she just breaks it up and is like, what the fuck? Would you stop? But you still get a nice little kiss with her little footy up in the air, and it's very cute. Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Age has been very famished for new content. Like, I really... gonna play the DLCs like Darkspawn? Maybe? I mean, I only have till the fall, so... I don't know if I'm gonna do anything but, like, Return to Ostagar, and what's the other DLC I really like doing? Well, obviously we're gonna have Shale, because you're gonna have Shale. Oh god, I'm trying to remember some of the Origins. We might skip Awakening. We might just skip Awakening. Because it's not very good. And it doesn't really contribute a lot to the overall story. Except the architect. So... Oh, are you kidding? No, we are doing the skip the fade mod in Origins. No, I am a fade hater when it comes to Origins. Fuck you. We're doing skip the fade, okay? No, see, I didn't like Anders back in the day. I played Awakening, and I hated Anders, and I gave up on Awakening. I did finally play all through Awakening on stream like 6 years ago. Honestly, guys, I have been streaming for that long. So like 6 years ago, I did stream Awakening for like some buddies of mine. But so I did finally finish it. But like when Dragon Age 2 was coming out, and I saw like the only returning companion from Origins was fucking Anders, I got really pissed off. I actually went into Dragon Age 2 determined to hate it. I was on the big old hate train that was surrounding it when it was first coming out. Because, you know, EA had just bought BioWare, so everybody was doom spelling back in 2011 that this was the end, you know, and they were gonna fuck everything up, and they were gonna make Hawk the Shepherd of Dragon Age, which I do think was their original plan. And I honestly kind of wish they stuck to it now, because I fucking love Hawk. But, yeah, I think they were gonna make Hawk, like, Dragon Age's Shepherd, and then they backed off when everyone was pissed off about not having origin or race options. They weren't even gonna have race options in Inquisition originally. And Inquisition is almost a continuation of Hawk's story from the Legacy DLC, so honestly, it probably should have been Hawk. But, what are you gonna do? Oh, well, there's always an Anders debate in the... There's always a... Look, people debate about Anders and Fenris the same way they debate about Lapis and Jasper, to give you any fucking... any fucking idea of that. I'm an Anders hater and a Fenris lover, eat me. Anders really fucking annoys me, I'm sorry. Like, I like him a little better in 2. And I found, to my horror, my absolute fucking horror, when I was writing Dragon Age fanfiction, that I can actually write Anders pretty well, and I was like, oh god, what does this mean? So, his glasses are definitely more square in the fucking Utena video. I'm looking at a screenshot of him right now. Oh, but see, it's I love Dragon Age, but I'm not a casual fan. I know, I understand so much about the world and the lore, and fuck, I can speak Elvish and Kuhn if I want to. It's like there's an old clip of me playing Awakening when we meet Velena, and I'm like, oh, I should be really Dalish at her, Adara and a Tishan. You know? I'm a Dalish role player. Yeah. I do like Meryl. I was comparing Meryl to Marcel from Dungeon Meshi, because I do think there's a little bit of inspiration in Marcel when it comes to Meryl. Because they're both like these sweet, innocent, bookworm-type mage characters who really think they understand blood magic and can make it useful and good for people. You know? So, I was, I think I kind of rival-manced Meryl on my female character because I just play as really against blood magic, so... Which, again, it was like a bunch of people were complaining in, with Origin, Inquisition, when Hawk has a cameo, that Hawk is, like, suddenly very anti-blood magic, even though Hawk can be a blood mage in Dragon Age 2, and it's like, well, sucks to suck, alright? That was a bit of ludonarrative dissonance. What can we do about it? How would you go around learning Dalish Elvish? Well, it's not a complete language. It's not a complete language, so you only get smatterings of words. There is people do keep a vocabulary on the wiki. What was I gonna say? They have said it's an English cipher, but nobody's cracked it yet. But they have said it's an English cipher. So... Fender should be kept away from me. I've read a few good Anders x Fenris fanfics, I will admit, but I still don't like Anders. Especially in canon. Especially when he's like, oh, you won't just help me do something shady in a church without me telling you what it is we're doing? You're not a real friend. And then he ends up like, well, I'm not gonna spoil it because we're gonna play the game soon, but if you know, you know. So, if you know, you know what happens at the end of Dragon Age 2. Lots of crazy shit. So yeah, actually when we do play them, I'm gonna do what we did with Utena and try not to spoil it, but I will like coyly point out some things here and there. But obviously, the first two games at least, we're going to be going by my canon, quote unquote. So the way I play isn't necessarily going to be the way you play. So if you see me play the Dragon Age games and you're interested in them, you could go through them playing a completely different class, a completely different race, with different decisions and different reactions and different levels of friendships with the NPCs, and it could be a completely different experience. So, you remember why you hated Anders now? Oh my god. Talcum, when I was playing Awakening, there's a scene where Anders is, like, yelling at me for, wanting to burn down Amaranthine. And he's like, oh, if there's even one innocent person in that city, you can't just destroy the city. And I'm like, oh, really, Anders? Really, Anders? You're telling me that, Anders? Really, Anders? I know what you're gonna do in, like, about 3 years, Anders. Not 3 years, it's more like 10, but still. And I was like, God damn it, Anders. He even has a different voice actor in Awakening, and I still hate him. Actually, I think in Awakening he has what's his face's voice actor? Pretty blonde boy in Inquisition. Oh god, what is his name? He's been in all 3 games. Why am I blanking on his name? It starts with a C. Hang on a second. Fucking hell, he's gotta be on this list somewhere. Cullen! That's... God, how did I forget Cullen's name? He's in all 3 games! I do love his glow up in Inquisition, though. Everybody was making jokes about it. He looks like a little, like square-faced, curly-haired freak in the first 2 games, and all of a sudden, now that he's romanceable, he's, like, super handsome. And we all joked he had a hair relaxer, you know? You meet Cullen more if you're a mage in Origins, because he's a Templar, so you meet him in the Origins, and you can like in the mage Origins, you can flirt with Cullen, and he like literally runs away. It's so good. But you do meet him on the mage quest, whether you met him in the Origins or not. So he has been a guy in all 3 games. So, not Alistair, no. Alistair's... I make Alistair king, by the way. I know a lot of people are going to, have issues with that, but I like... See, my motivation is really stupid for that, actually. So, one time on my many replays of Dragon Age 2... because I've played it like fucking 8 times. I need to make his forehead bigger. I'm being way too generous to his hairline here. Okay. So I was replaying Dragon Age 2 for like the 50th fucking time, and I just used like a save mod to like change a few things about the world just to see what was different. And so I made Alistair king in that save. And when I met him in Dragon Age 2, he was still a goofy motherfucker. Like he literally introduces himself, shaking her, and says, Alistair Theren, King of Ferelden, by the way. And I was like, oh my god, I have to make him king. I have to make him king. So I usually have him and Honora co-rule. That was like what I tried to do my first playthrough, but then I let Alistair kill Loghain. And then Honora was like, well, I'm not gonna marry the guy who just like murdered my father. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Looks like you're stuck with me, Alistair. Let's see. I used to be very anti-circle, but I do think Vivienne in Inquisition offers a much-needed alternate perspective on circles, and I agree with a lot of what she says when she makes the point that mages need to be around other mages, because who else can understand what they go through, and like... You do need, like mages do need to be protected and and people need to be protected from them because they are volatile and they could be possessed by a fucking demon because of their powers at like any given time, you know? So, and Vivienne is very much about her strict control of herself, you know? And she obviously went to a better circle than most people. So, yeah. And Anders is a bit of a hypocrite because he tries to pretend that every single circle is as bad as Kirkwall's. And like, bitch, you were in the Ferelden circle. You know that's not true. You know? Come on, Anders. Fuck you. And Anders, like, the reason he had such a bad time at a circle, too, was because he was always making trouble and trying to escape. You know? I like Anora. Why don't you like Anora? I like her. She's doing her best in the situation she's in. Her husband has been killed. Her dad is trying to usurp the throne and start a war with Fantasy France. She's doing the best she can. Actually, there was like somebody was doing like a modern day Dragon Age 2 fanfic, and they did make Anders like a woke blogger and animal rights activist, and I was like, yeah. He fucking would be. He fucking would be. So yeah, he's an MRA, a mage rights activist. Fantasy France is what Orlais is, basically. Orlais is Fantasy France. I just call it that to be funny, but they honestly do have French accents. And a lot of their culture is very French, but they also have their own unique culture on top of that, like the whole mask wearing thing. Oh god, just too much Dragon Age. Anders and Nathaniel, though, I do like Nathaniel. Play the games, read the books. I've read some of the Dragon Age books, actually. I don't usually like to seek out non-game stuff, because they pull that shit a lot with Mass Effect, where it's like, oh, here's a character from the books you didn't read or care about. It's like, yeah, I don't fucking care. Why are you shoving fucking Kai Lang in my face and he's lame? I don't care. I never read the fucking books. I am drawing James Somerton right now, for my cut of my reaction to him getting Utena wrong. So, oh, this child tried to kill me. Let's break him along. I've never played Pizza Tower. I just looked up Anders for more Dragon Age jokes and instead got an astronaut named William Anders who just died a week ago. No, you might have to type in Anders Dragon Age. He doesn't have a last name. Actually, I don't think Anders is even his real name. That's just what the people at the circle called him because he refused to talk when he was first taken there. What do I think James Somerton is doing? I don't know. I don't think he would dare try to come back to the internet under his own face, though some people have... Actually, I think some people have discovered that he has been trying to, like, come back on, like, fucking TikTok or something. I don't know. I don't care. The Winter Palace music in Inquisition. I love the ending of the Winter Palace storyline in Inquisition, because if you do everything right, you have like a fucking, like, Perry Mason moment where you get to lay out the whole crime that happened. Like, it's a fucking game of Clue. It's great. It's so corny. I love it. Dragon Age does have a lot of humor, too. That's the other thing. Even though it's a dark fantasy series, it has a lot of humor. So hell, if you like Dungeon Meshi, you'll probably fucking like Dragon Age. The Winter Palace is a really good storyline in Inquisition. Inquisition's problem is that they tried to make it open world. And Dragon Age games really shouldn't be completely open world. They really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Because, like, it just kneecapped the story. And, like, if you actually, like, think about the actual main story events in Inquisition, the game would not be very long if they didn't put in all that padding. So, the Inquisition have jump mechanics? Yeah, it shouldn't have jump mechanics. Every time I go back to Dragon Age 2, I try to jump and forget I can't. I haven't played Nier Automata, but I've watched my friend play through the entire thing, and we were, like, sobbing like babies by the end of it, so... My mom has told me she loves Dragon Age 2. I may have to carry the torch. Yes! I will get people on the internet into all of my bullshit. My plan is working. I mean, Dragon Age 2 is goofy, but it also has, like, some really dark, fucked up moments in it. Like, don't forget what happens to Hawk's family. You know? No matter what you do. Actually, though, a while ago, there's a great blog called Incorrect Dragon Age Quotes. And they had one for Hawk that was like, I'm here to chew bubblegum and protect my family, and I'm all out of family. Mary Kirby favorited that. That's another great thing about Dragon Age, at least back when the old guard was around, that there's a lot of in-jokes between the fans and the writers. Like, there's so many in-jokes between the fans and the writers that make it into games. Yeah, Lily now has a video on siblings because she just does not know when to stop shooting herself in the foot. She's wondering why her foot is just a bloody stump right now because she keeps shooting it. She doesn't understand. I don't know what that analogy was, but... And in this video... Her Tumblr got nuked ages ago. What are you talking about? Yeah, let me, like, in this new video, she says something about circumcision and then assumes I would say she thinks genital mutilation is funny. But I'm also against circumcision. I just don't spurg about my politics in every single fucking video. So it's like, Lily, you tried to mischaracterize me and, like, accidentally didn't realize that I actually agree with you. She must assume I disagree with her on anything she says. Because that's what she does to other people. I actually agree with Lily on a few things. That doesn't mean I'm gonna like her. You can still play Hawk like he's a sitcom character despite all the rough shit. Yes, everyone loves Purple Hawk. I do play a Purple Hawk. I play a blue Purple Hawk because if you go full purple, Hawk just starts sounding like a fucking psychopath. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there are 3 personality answers in dialogue you can give in Dragon Age 2. You can either be really nice, you could be a smarmy son of a bitch, or you can be a hard ass. Those are your 3 options, and you can mix and match them. So some people will play, like, a purple-red Hawk. I play, like, a purple-blue Hawk. Some people go, like, blue, blue, blue with a little purple. You know, my Hawk will get red when he's talking about blood magic or when somebody insults his family, you know? So, yeah, I tend to like purple-blue for my boy. Who I have a very, like, you guys, I spent more time recreating my Hawk in Inquisition than I spent on any of my Inquisitors. I wouldn't call Dragon Age postmodern, but I'm sure James Somerton would find a way to... You know, his head is a little more long and egg-shaped. I should probably elongate him a little bit here. I think my problem is I'm trying to keep his hair in frame. Oh, thank you for the super chat.
Guido Mista sent a super chat, celebrating my 18th with a Sice stream we eaten.
Oh no, I have an underage fan. Somebody cancel me. Well, you're not anymore, so it's fine. I must have groomed you. Thank you. Happy birthday. I don't know. I'm looking at a picture of him where his hairline is pretty bad right now. Actually, let me show you the picture of him I'm looking at right now as my art reference. Let me just get it into the browser that's connected to my thingy. Yeah, that's the picture of James Somerton I'm looking at right now, so you tell me. If you ban circumcisions, there will suddenly be a rise of children who get into accidents that require a surgeon to remove the foreskin. I don't know, Senshini. In my mind, there is no proven medical benefit to just snipping baby boys, and I don't think it should be done just automatically, like, as standard. I don't think that's good. That's just my personal opinion, though. So, but moreover is that Lily just would assume that I couldn't possibly have that stance because she doesn't think. Probably because she thinks everybody is, like, just right or left, and she, like, has some contrarian opinions. She can't, like, imagine that anybody out there might have a nuanced take on something or be a free thinker or be a centrist or, you know. Yeah, I'm sorry for the James Somerton jump scare. I should have given you guys a trigger warning. I'm sorry. I apologize. Cancel me. Out of the 3, which you consider my favorite Dragon Age game? Definitely 2. The one I went into wanting to hate is my favorite. I think it's because of the time. Again, I was kind of on the hate train of like, oh, EA has taken over BioWare and they're gonna ruin Dragon Age. None of the characters from the first game are returning. Meh, meh, meh. And then I played it, and then on my second playthrough, I, like, fell in love with Fenhawk, and honestly, 2 has the best cast of characters. Okay, listen, here's what I usually say. Dragon Age Origins has the best, story progression. Dragon Age 2 has the best characters, and Dragon Age Inquisition has the best gameplay. I mean, if 4 could just kind of get all of those three elements together, it could be good, but I don't think it will. You know? Dragon Age games are very imperfect. I just... it is what it is. They're very imperfect. Dragon Age 2 is my favorite, but it also has the most annoying battle mechanic in the universe, which is the enemies, like, spawning in waves, and everybody hates it, and they even make fun of it in Inquisition. There's a banter between Iron Bull and Varric, where Bull is like, Varric, where do your bad guys come from? And Varric's like, well, you know, they have a variety of backgrounds. Some of them are criminals, some of them... And Bull's like, no, I mean, like, where do they come from? They seem to just drop in on the heroes' heads. And that was like an old fandom joke, that because the framing device of Dragon Age 2 is Varric retelling the story, he's just constantly exaggerating how many dudes they were fighting. He's like, oh, no, we were fighting 10 dudes, no, 20 dudes! And that's like where the spawn mechanics come from. This is what I'm saying about jokes between the fandom and the writers, like, working their way into games. Oh my goodness.
Confused Cabal sent a super chat. Came here for art and laughs, and first thing I hear is circumcision accidents. You never disappoint, Sigh.
Thank you for the super chat. I know, it's wild on my streams. You never know what the fuck we're gonna end up talking about or what I'm gonna say. I love the it's Varric's fault argument when something is stupid in DA2. Yes! I mean, it's not true, but I love that reading where it's like, all the caves look the same because Varric doesn't care about caves, you know? It's like, he's probably exaggerating the romance scenes. He's like, I think there was one fanfiction where it was like, it turned out every single thing Varric said in Dragon Age 2 was an exaggeration. And that was a pretty funny concept. There is definitely one scene in Dragon Age 2 where Varric is being an unreliable narrator, and he's, you know, he bursts onto the scene and he shoots every dude, and he gives a big speech, and his brother is on his knees apologizing to him, and he's obviously fucking lying, and it's so funny. And then it cuts back to Cassandra interrogating him, and she's just giving him a look. And I was so fucking happy that Cassandra was a companion in Dragon Age Inquisition. I was so happy. And I knew there was eventually going to be a scene where she tried to kick Varric's ass. Because it turns out he knew where Hawk was the entire time. And he was just bullshitting her. And even better, Cassandra gets into Varric's book. So if you don't know, Varric is a Dutcher of the Merchants Guild, which is a very powerful dwarven guild. He was born on the surface, so he's very atypical for a dwarf. His family was exiled from Ostagar, and once dwarves leave Ostagar, they're not allowed to come back if they're on the surface. So he was born on the surface, he acts more like a human, he's basically a mafia don, and he writes terrible pulp fiction. He is the best character. And he has a really fancy crossbow he named Bianca. Varric is wonderful. And instead of a beard, because he's a surface dwarf, he doesn't have a beard. Instead of a beard, he just has his shirt open so you can see his chest hair. I love you, Varric. That's why he's your best friend in Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age art direction, I would say, is good. The thing is, though... Oh, thank you for the subscription. The thing is, though, every single game looks different. They all look very visually different. You kind of just have to get used to that. A lot of the, like, clothing designs stay consistent from 2 onward, though, at least. So... Oh, Hazuruki, did you see what happened to Bianca in the trailer? In the gameplay trailer? Did you see? Like, fucking graphic death of a main character on screen. Hang on, we're going back to the gameplay trailer. Where is it? It happens. Yes, okay, this is the scene. Okay, I found it.
Must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Fuck you, ex-boyfriend.
Minimize the... People are dying right now.
He's basically trying to talk a guy with godlike powers out of, like, doing something that's gonna fuck up the world really, really badly.
You need to listen. Please.
Bianca, no!
People are always dying.
Graphic death of a long-standing main character in the trailer. How could they do this? Everyone wants to kill Solus now over that. Yay, I'm glad you watched Dunmeshi. I'm talking now, Radical Dude, about how I'm about to get everybody into Dragon Age because I'm going to stream all of the games before the new one comes out. I definitely have to start downloading games and modding them and getting that ready soon because I only have till the fall. I can get through Origins and 2 pretty efficiently. Though we're definitely going to be doing my insane way of playing 2, where it's all about my blorbos. So... Let's see. Yeah, we're not doing any reacts. I don't always do reacts, you guys. Sometimes it's just like this, where we just shoot the shit and I draw. I'm not drawing right now, though, because I'm hand talking. So... Yeah, to Solus, if you ever feel safe, just remember we're out there. Solus, you uncooked egg! Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a big joke in the Dragon Age fandom to call Solus the egg because of his big old bald head. I will be reacting to Dragon Age 4 when it comes out. But no, so I probably will be doing Lily's sibling video. But I also have something very special. Oh yes, I put Katamari music in the playlist because I realized I can play it after the anime video. If you guys didn't notice my video, Lily Orchid doesn't understand anime, the background music is like full of Katamari music because it was like the most aggressively Japanese music I could think of that I could get away with using. So I was like, I'm just gonna use the most Japanese music possible just to spite Lily. I love Katamari, by the way. I played Katamari Damacy, We Love Katamari, Beautiful Katamari, and Katamari Reroll. So... Yes, I had also the Rugrats music in the other one. So yeah, I will be reacting to Lily's sibling video, but I also, a little while ago, let me get the... Actually, I think I have it in my community post. Let me just scoot over there for a second. This is definitely a more casual stream today. It was before I started spurring about Dragon Age. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, SA, who might be, SC rather, who might be in the chat right now, made me aware that Lily once had a video called Steven Universe is Ideologically Rotten, which is now, privated. But I found a copy of it on webarchive.org. So, we are definitely going to be reacting to that eventually. Here's the proof of where I got it, by the way. It's freaking loading. Archive always takes a while to load. Yeah, yeah, Essie is there, so you have him to thank for this, for putting me on the scent of this old lost Lily video on Steven Universe. So, because I was able to find evidence that it existed, and I eventually tracked it down here and was able to get a copy. So, this video of Lily's is about the ending of the original first 5 seasons of Steven Universe, when it was still fresh. So you know she's going to get it extremely wrong, and I feel like this is something I could really sink my teeth into, but that's gonna be down the line. So, like I said, I don't want to do reacts all the time, but we will be doing extra streams when I start streaming Dragon Age. I'll either stream like an extra 1 or 2 times a week just to like I said, just to freaking get through the games in time, because I kind of want to play Veilguard Day 1. So you were also the first person to get me legitimately interested in Steven Universe, if only because I'm looking for inspiration from the main character of my own series. Hey, whatever, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be like your favorite thing ever to appreciate it, you know what I mean? Yeah, we will be having lots of Dragon Age. I might have to hire an editor eventually, because I don't like editing down video game stuff myself. So like, if I want somebody to just go in and like do highlights of like all the Wani stuff and all my Dragon Age shit, I might just like be like, hey, here's some money, do that for me. I don't want to. I might have to wait until I'm making a bit more regularly on YouTube for that, but that's okay, because the channel is growing. By God, it's growing. Thank you all. So... Oh, you're already doing that, Kaiser? Kaiser, if you want the high quality VODs from my YouTube, I can just send them to you. And if you want to put them up on my channel, I'll share the revenue with you. I'll message you on Twitter later. Oh wait, no, you're in my Discord now, Kaiser. What am I talking about? I keep forgetting. The Discord is getting very busy now. I might have to upgrade it to a community soon just to be able to organize it better, and I really gotta start getting some bots in that will help people when streams are up. Actually, I feel like I need to make his eyes a little smaller. Look, are his glasses fake? They don't even... they don't even look like they're magnifying his eyes at all. The Gator Smut arc was my favorite for the Sky Scribbles verse. Gotta make sure you have Valentine to get all the shards from the hinterlands. Fuck you! Oh god. So we had to keep telling people, leave the hinterlands. There is more to the game. Leave the fucking hinterlands. You don't have to do every quest right away. You don't even have to do every quest. I will probably be skipping a lot of side quests when we do Inquisition, or I'll be doing ones I need to do offline. I'll probably do the fucking god-awful class quests offline, because they're terrible. The forehead's still too small. Hey, let me take the plump up brush here and just brrr. How's that? Oh, he looks like he has fetal alcohol syndrome. Maybe not. You always remember the racial segregation. I don't know why he kept saying that, but just the combination of Damien continually saying racial segregation while that pic of him like turned backwards in the car like doing finger guns at you was just so fucking funny. Actually, that's Damien doing finger guns is like a sticker on my Discord too, by the way. Biblically accurate, James, yes. Yeah, I love how you went from YouTube is too much work to shit, I might need to hire people now. Character development is real. Well, yeah, I always thought it was too much work. Because, like, the idea of, like, me trying to start a YouTube channel with, like, video essays or something and, like, languishing in obscurity was, like, what I expected. And then I literally accidentally blew up making fun of Lily Orchard, so here we are. Whatever, but, yeah. I never even thought you would need to draw the eyes different when wearing prescription lenses. Well, yeah, because a lot of people, sometimes their glasses, like, really magnify their eyes. That's why, like, there's a joke in cartoons where, like, a character takes off their glasses and their eyes are all, like, beady, you know? Oh, hi, Blue Diamond, what's up? You missed me, like, really spurging about Dragon Age, like, a lot. And we're talking about when I'm going to react to Lily again, which is definitely not going to be for another at least couple of weeks. Maybe we'll start with a sibling video, because I want to say I won't have a lot to say about it, but who the fuck knows? Apparently it's completely crazy. You drew Artemis as Anthe? You gotta at me. You gotta at me. So I can see it. There's how I draw myself as Anthe, just screaming with a bottle of Tequila Rose in my hand. I got to one part of the video where, because I've been editing the Summerton cut, and I got to one part where I said something really smart, but I sounded drunk as fucking hell at the same time. I was like, oh god, I really did sound toasty. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a Lisa Hannigan fan. I don't really listen to her music at all. I really like Blue Diamond, the character. It's not like it is with Pearl, where it's like I don't have a crush on Pearl. I have a crush on Dee Dee Magna Hall instead. No, it's the other way around with Blue Diamond. I have a crush on Blue Diamond. No, God, people are still arguing about circumcision in the chat now. I shouldn't have fucking said anything. I mean, I guess that's cool, Jaden. I mean, do what you want. Yeah, you're fucking... I think I have at least one of your hot sauce comments in the video, Cosmo Mandy. So, I think I have a few of your comments, Cosmo Mandy, because you were like, giving a lot of good takes. And of course she's chunky. I'm chunky. I'm really bad at telling when someone's scrunk talking unless they're really drunk. I sounded normal. Yeah, I know I sounded normal because I'm kind of like I'm a very lucid drunk. I can usually control my mental faculties pretty well, even when I'm pretty drunk. I was really drunk at a few points, though. I also got to the part where James Somerton compared the symbolism in Utena to Wrecking Ball, and then I said, I wish you had really killed yourself, Chase. And the chat just started going, Sai, no, Sai! No, messing in 8mm, Lily Orchid said something about circumcision in her new siblings video, and then popped up a thing on screen suggesting I would say she thinks genital mutilation is funny. So there's that. Who did I make Divine Justinia? Well, my first playthrough ended up being Liliana, because of course it did, because she's fucking writer's pet. But yeah, on my Circle Mage playthrough, I worked hard to make Vivienne Divine Justinia, because I like that. But it definitely ended up Liliana my first playthrough, because I didn't even, like... I wasn't even trying to do that. Obviously, I was playing blind my first playthrough, so... And then, like, we got to that part, like, I accidentally made Liliana the murder pope. So we got to that part where she fucking kills a nun for some reason. And I was like, bitch, what are you doing? And she's like, well, you told me this. And I was like, that was 40 hours ago, Liliana. I didn't realize you were paying attention to what the fuck I was saying. You know? Anyone but Cassandra's pretty qualified. Oh, come on. Cassandra does look pretty awful in that outfit, though. That's one reason to not make her the Pope. Anyone who doesn't know Dragon Age has no idea what we're talking about. Ghosts and Pals mentioned, yes, I stumbled across if you guys look at the very bottom of my YouTube channel, I have this playlist called Ambient Electronica where I just dump all these long mixes of weird music, and one of them was like evil clown music, and a lot of the new songs I bought were on there, and I was like, oh, I could fucking use these on my thing. Yeah, Sean, we were just talking about it, actually. We were just talking about how they murdered Bianca right on screen graphically in that trailer. How could they? I know, I love Cassandra too. I do. She's great. I love her. I loved her in Dragon Age 2, and like I said, I was so fucking happy she was a companion in Inquisition. I was so happy. I actually managed to become friends with her in my first playthrough, even though I was a little barefoot Dalish elf who didn't know shit about the Chantry. It took her a while to warm up to my character, but then she started to like her, and they became friends, so that was nice. Like, oh, thank you for the super chat. It's coming.
Font sent a super chat. The duality of Psy. Incredibly wise drunk or sober lesbian that start an incredible weird conversation.
That's me, alright. I've said before, you guys are just my outlet to spurg about things, really. Explain what her favorite story is. Obviously, it's a Sword and Shields Kaiser, which Varric was gonna, like, just ditch, but he kept writing it just for her. And it's so obviously based on Aveline, which makes it even funnier. So, you've only played Inquisition? Yeah, it's interesting to see people who started with Inquisition, because, like, when Inquisition first came out and, like, people were just getting into it, I, like, was literally, like, asking people, like, okay, well, what did you understand from your playthrough? What did you think about this? What did you think about that? Because I was just so fascinated as to how, like, certain things would come across to new people. And I ultimately concluded that playing Inquisition first is not bad. You won't be completely lost, but there is a lot of shit in it that is deep cuts that you will only understand if you're an OG fan. So, it's a pretty good balance, I'd say. But yeah, so much of Inquisition is just padding, though. That's the real problem with it. Like, last time I had played, I had my third Inquisitor, who was a male, bow rogue. And bows in Inquisition are kind of ass until you get a little deeper in the game, I found. It took a while for being an archer to become fun, but it did become fun eventually. So I was playing this dude who I was gonna romance Dorian with. And I stumbled onto some side quest I had never played before, and I was actually interested in it. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad, but you know, still. Inquisition just did not need to be that big with that many zones. It just really didn't. I'm really hoping that Veilguard is a little bit more like Origins, where we have all these separate areas and you can choose what order to go to them in, but you're kind of locked into the story once you get there, you know? And maybe give us some cities about as big as Kirkwall, and I'll be happy. You know, I don't need like all these big empty fucking nature spaces. You know, I would rather Minrathous be about the size of Kirkwall or bigger, and I'd like to go to Navarra, and I'd like to go to Ravane, you know? We're in the north. We should be going to these other places. These other places we haven't seen yet in the game. Oh god, I will say though, hang on. We're gonna keep spurging about Dragon Age, because you guys have unleashed this upon yourselves. Let's see. Going back to the Veilguard trailer. I just wanted to point out... I'm gonna turn off the volume though. But, where's my thingy? There we go. So, the city you're seeing in the trailer... See, there's some really good shots of it. I know there's some good shots of the skyline. Okay, I think it's when this lady gets, like, caught out. Yeah, here. So this is a place called Minrathous, and it's in Tevinter. It's in the north. We've never been here before in the games. We've seen it in the, comics, but we've never been here, and everything's been leading toward us being in this place. So this is a city called Minrathous. This is the capital of Tevinter. Tevinter is ruled by mages. So the fact that Minrathous kinda looks like a cyberpunk dystopian city, but medieval and magic, that fucks. I really, really like that. I really fucking like that a lot. I have to say. So you have things that look like neon signs, but they're magic. And you have like this big old dystopian spotlight on this lady because she got caught doing her crime or something. I forget what the hell is happening here. But look, the floating castle there and shit. And you can see some of like the cyberpunk signs in the background. So like, I really like this a lot. I really, really like this a lot. And like I said, this city has been hyped up over 3 fucking games. So it better be good, you know? But like, I fucking love the look of Minrathous so much. Like, you can see it right there. There's like something that almost looks like a neon sign, but it's made of magic, you know? And they have like lanterns that almost work like electricity, but it's made of magic, and it doesn't look too sci-fi. It looks just fantasy enough that this works, and I fucking love it so much. I was like, damn you, BioWare, you have me back. Fine, you have me back, you know? So, anyway, that's enough of that. Wait, was that on screen just now? Oh, it was, okay. I minimized the window, that's what happened. But yeah, so, yeah, the thing is, oh god, I mentioned this without really mentioning it on Twitter. But we are not ready, guys. We are not ready for when Twitter finds out that slavery is legal in Tevinter. We are not ready for them to completely miss the nuance in the world building and the history. We're not ready. And there's no way they can get around that. Even if they had a woke director like everyone keeps claiming, there is no way that they can get around that slavery is legal in Tevinter. It's a very big part of that civilization. Tevinter is basically like a cross between the Roman Empire and Imperial China, basically. So, and it's really interesting because like in Inquisition, Dorian is the first Tevinter main character we've had as a companion. And Dorian is a very fabulous gay man that everybody loves. Let me find a picture of him real quick, actually, so we can appreciate some Dorian. Dorian was so cool that, like, a bunch of straight guys ended up, romancing him because he was just so enjoyable. They were like, I like Dorian so much, I fucking romanced him, you know? So... here we go. There's a good picture of him. Let me get my screen thingy back up. So this is Dorian. He's very funny. His name is Dorian Pavis, and if you know what Pavis means in Latin, it means peacock. So it's very apt. He was written by a gay man. He was, I think, one of the last characters David Gator wrote before he left. David Gator's the creator of Dragon Age. So Dorian is a really fun character. He's from Tevinter. He's actually a nobleman from Tevinter. He's a mage from Tevinter, so he's very privileged. He's in the aristocracy. And I was so scared. That because he is like the first gay character. Because like I said, there's been bisexual romance interests in Dragon Age before, but he was like the first gay man that we had. I was so scared that because he was a gay character, they were gonna have him be like the one good Tevinter noble who knew slavery was bad and is against it. But no, if you bring it up to him, he gets really defensive and he starts justifying it. And I'm like, oh my god, they're actually like writing, you know? Of course he would. He grew up in that environment. He's a product of his civilization. So of course he's gonna be like, well, no, slavery is totally normal. It's just what we do. We treat our slaves well. What are you talking about? You know, he gets really, really defensive about it. But if you keep pushing him, he gets his mind turned around. But his first knee-jerk reaction is to be like, what? No, come on, it's fine. We treat my slaves well. We don't, like, beat them or anything, you know? So, I just love that nuanced writing is still, you know, a thing, but we're all a little worried that it's not a thing anymore, you know what I mean? So, Kaiser was teasing me that they're totally gonna erase slavery in Tevinter and Dragon Age, but there's no fucking way they can. And no minus friendship points? Oh, I didn't even remember that. I wouldn't even care if he did, you know? But, like, I mean, as weird as it is to say, oh my god, I hope this character does actually justify slavery, it makes sense for the world he has grown up in. And even though he's discriminated against as a gay man in Tevinter, because Tevinter is all about family bloodlines. They're really big on family bloodlines, keeping their magical family bloodlines alive. So he's very discriminated against for being gay. But even that, he has blinders on when it comes to slavery because it's so normal in his society. And it's basically like Tevinter could not function without slavery. The way the government is set up, basically, you know? And it does have, tiers like the Roman Empire. So like you have the I'm trying to remember all the class names. Oh god, my memory has been fading. This is bad. I don't know, like Tevinter. Oh god, I changed the Super Saiyan. Let's see. Tevinter Imperium, because I'm forgetting all of the fucking class names. Okay, yeah, okay. Right, social classes, here we go. They're all like fucking Latin, I don't remember them as well. So the commoners... So there's, the commoners who are called the Soparati, and there are people who don't have magic. See, everywhere else in the world in Dragon Age, mages are oppressed. But in Tevinter, it's the other way around. Mages are the upper class. So that's why Tevinter's usually seen as evil, you know, and they kind of are, but, you know. So the Soparati are just the commoners. Then there's the Latins, who are people from commoner bloodlines who have developed magic. They're still like second-class citizens, though. Then there's the Altus, who are the aristocracy, which Dorian's part of. Oh, here we go.
Sean G sent a super chat. Since we're talking about Dorian, how do you feel about plier-sexual, or pansexual, romances versus gender-locked ones?
I honestly prefer romances that are locked behind sexual orientation, because, one, it's more realistic. Two, it encourages me to make a whole new character and play differently just to romance someone specific. So like when I wanted to romance Dorian, I made a brand new male character. I said, well, I'm gonna play Archer. I've never played Archer before, so I'll play Archer. And I was playing him as a snooty nobleman. So actually, playing him as a snooty nobleman, I ended up getting into a conversation with Josephine where they were both like saying how quaint and Backwater Haven is, and they were both being really cunty about it, and it was really funny. And I was like, I would never have had that conversation if I didn't make this character. So that's Dorian on screen. You will love him. So yeah, Hazuruki is right. As long as there's proof in the text, they're actually bi/pan. See, the thing is, people think the Dragon Age 2 companions are player sexual, but they're not. You are actually palling around with 4 bisexuals. All 4 of them show that they are interested in both men and women in some way outside of Hawk. You know? Or they start flirting with Hawk first. You know? So they are all actually bisexual. And then you just have Aveline, who's like the straight mom friend who's just like corralling all of them. So, you know. But I do prefer when it's yeah, I do prefer when it's gender locked, because it does encourage you to go through the game again and make a new character and play differently. And I play games as characters. I don't play as myself, really. So that's how I prefer. Anyway, we were talking about fucking, yeah. So there are social strata in Tevinter, with slaves obviously at the lowest. There's also liberati, who are liberated slaves, but they're not much better off. In fact, some slaves find being free devastating, because suddenly they don't have 3 square meals a day or a roof over their head, and they have to fend for themselves. So they're like, why the fuck did you free me? I had it pretty decent. You know? It's a very complicated situation. So it speaks to historical, you know, like shit like this happened in history. You can't just deny that, you know? You can't deny that slavery was normal in very many cultures, not just the Americas, you know? China, Egypt, everywhere, really. So it's like we can tell these stories without, you know, yeah, we know slavery is bad, we can still tell these stories. Yeah, then there's Sebastian, who is straight, but he's also, like, celibate, so because he became a priest. I actually like Sebastian. I didn't have his DLC for the longest time, because I was like, who the fuck cares about that guy? But then I started reading some of his banter with Fenris when I was writing Dragon Age fanfiction. And I was like, oh, I like his little friendship with Fenris. So I downloaded the DLC, and I was like, was anyone gonna tell me this motherfucker is Scottish? I instantly like him now, you know? So Sebastian is definitely part of my repertoire. It's really funny though, because I made my friend stream Dragon Age 2 for me one time, because I just wanted to see him play it, and like he started Sebastian's quest but never finished it, and just didn't want anything to do with Sebastian. He was like, fuck you, Sebastian, get out of here. But then something glitched, and by the 3rd act Sebastian was suddenly back in the party. It's like it's like all of my friends' attempts to get rid of him didn't work. So he was still there to go, Maka, no! So it was so funny. I wish I had recorded it. He was so mad. He was like, Sebastian, what the fuck? What are you doing here? God damn it, he just put himself in my party. Slavery start when people in power want free labor and need a reason to collect mass group of people for real. Yeah, Fenris in 2 mentions that there was a what do they call the leader in Tevinter? God, oh god, I really need to get up on the lore myself. It's like I'm forgetting things. This is terrible. Archon, that's what they call the leader of Tevinter, the Archon. So yeah, Dragon Age 2. Fenris, who's a former slave from Tevinter, he mentions that there was an Archon who tried to outlaw slavery, and he was swiftly assassinated. So, yeah, it's not changing anytime soon. I have a feeling, though, this game is probably going to be like, oh, we're going to end slavery in Tevinter, or Tevinter's just going to be fucking wiped off the map. I guess we'll see. But, especially since Solus maybe has unleashed 2 Evanuris on the world at the end there. If they're not 2 Evanuris, then they must be the 2 of the other ancient magisters who went to the Black City. That's the only 2 things those things could be. I want to think there are 2 of the Evanuris though, because that would be fun. And in the description of Veilguard, they keep saying we're going to be fighting elven gods, plural. So if those 2 things at the end of the trailer are Evanuris, we're fucked. Oh god, we're fucked. So I erased his eyebrows. I'm sorry. I have to draw them back in, smarmier than ever. There you go. No, he has to have like the DreamWorks Smarmbrow. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Okay. But yeah. So, yeah, that's really deep Dragon Age lore I'm getting into with the Evanurus, because, oh god, so, like, TLDR, I'm gonna try to TLDR this. The elves have a myth about, a creature called the Dreadwolf, who locked all the other elven gods away, and it turns out that's partially true. Solus is the Dreadwolf. We don't know exactly what the situation was back then, but he is the one who erected the veil between the spirit world and the real world. So, like, the Fade in Dragon Age is where people's minds go when they dream. It's also where magic comes from. It's also where spirits and demons come from. And there is a veil between the real world and the Fade, but apparently there used to not be one. And whatever Solus did to erect it kind of like, I think, made the elves lose their spiritual side, and they became flesh and blood beings, which is why they were enslaved by humans so easily. That's my theory. We don't know for sure. But right now, Solus, who has just woken up from like a billion-year sleep and found the world is not the way he wants it to be, is trying to take the veil back down. But he did actually seal the other elven gods away, so whatever he's doing in that trailer, I think he's trying to take the veil down while also keeping the other Evanurus locked away. And us interrupting him there fucked that up. And now 2 of the Evanurus are awake. And that's bad. Because the Evanurus, they might have been gods. They might have just been very powerful elves. Because again, the world was very different before the veil. And elves seem to be able to go between being spirit and being flesh. So, yeah, it's, again, this is all very unclear still, but it's been built up over 3 fucking games, so, like, they mentioned the Dreadwolf in the first game, because I play a Dalish Origin, so I know. I will comment on that in a second, Shrug. I'm looking at this highlighted Twitch one. Would you ever do any animations, even if they're small? Yeah, I kind of do want to, like, do, like, little animations and things. I'm just, like, doing so much at the moment. Like, I haven't even, like, worked on Switcheroo because I'm still struggling with the design of Jasper and Spinel's fusion, and now I've been doing all this, like, stuff for Cougar, and blah, 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 and I'm editing videos, and it's all getting crazy. So... Oh yeah, Kaiser, you're sending me the post that got me arguing with a bunch of people right now about Utena. All these kids who've never fucking seen it trying to lecture me on it and then not knowing what I'm talking about when I bring up basic plot points. It's so stupid. But it kill people to actually like watch things before they fucking comment on them. This is what I'm saying. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. What did you say? That something about the archdemons? Yes, Sherlock Smug says, I would love it if they would finally bring the archdemons back into being relevant in the plot. Well, see, the thing is, Sherlock, I have a really fucking cracked theory, and try to follow me here. I think that the old gods worshipped by the Tevinter Imperium, the archdemons, and the Evanurus are all the same thing. I really, truly think so. Because every religion and culture in Dragon Age calls back to some cataclysmic event that we don't really know what it is. And I think what that cataclysmic event was when Solus put up the veil and the world changed. So, you know, the Tevinter Magisters were trying to pierce the veil to get to the Golden City at the behest of their old gods, who were communicating to them from the Fade. And in Trespasser, you end up in this library in the old Elven City in the Fade that has a passage that suggests that taking the form of a dragon is a form only the Evanurus are allowed to do. And of course, Flemeth, who has the soul of Mythal in her, can turn into a dragon, can she not? So the sleeping and Solus is really, really pissed off that the Grey Wardens keep killing those archdemon dragons and releasing those souls. He's very upset about that. He doesn't say why, but he's really pissed at the Grey Wardens for doing that. So I have a feeling all 3 of those things are one and the same. I might be wrong, but especially after we found out one of the Evanuris is probably the reason why fucking red lyrium exists and may have unleashed the blight on the world. Was it Alduin? Not Alduin, that's fucking Skyrim. What's her name? The archer one. She went to the Void and made armor on the Void to hunt the creatures there, and she brought back the blight, basically. So, oh god, no one who's into Dragon Age is gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. You're a warden in the first game. We are getting a warden companion in, that elf guy. He looks like he's Dalish, because he's got a facial tattoo. So, that elf guy is a warden, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. Snort the red lyrium. I would not recommend that, but you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch all my streams when I do this. What was I going to say? Well, imagine you fight the Evanuris and they become dragons in the last phase or something. Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, it's that's my theory. I see Sherlock Smoke has his mind blown there, but yeah, I really do think the Archdemon dragons and the Old Gods and the Evanuris are all the same thing. Somehow. The dragons are definitely related to them. Because Flemeth really wanted she really wanted the little soul that came out of the Archdemon. And she has the soul of Mathal. So it seems like the soul of another Evanuris was in the Archdemon you kill in Origins. So at least a few of them have been slain and their souls are God knows where. But I don't know what that means for also the ones that are sealed away in the Fade, though. You know, maybe they can... Whoa, I just realized this in real time. I was about to say maybe they can exist in two places at once. Yeah, Flemeth does exactly fucking that, doesn't she? Even if you kill her in Origins, she puts a little bit of herself in an amulet and tells Hawk to take that amulet to the sacred ground of the elves, and she pops out of it and says, oh, I just put a piece of myself in here just in case. So, yeah. Welcome to Die. Why does something terrible and world-ending happen every 10 years in fucking Dragon Age? Even Cullen makes fun of that in Trespasser. He says it out loud. He's like, why is the world ending every 10 years? I am drawing my thumbnail for when I cut down my James Somerton react. Part of them was locked in the Fade and part of them remained and became the Archdemons. Yeah, honestly. Let's see. Have you done your needed organic tasks, such as clean your lungs and polishing your eyes? Also make sure to ingest the needed amount of biofuel in order to maintain proper function. And I must create chart of Jasper's Baron of Hell from Doom, okay? Well, this is so unbelievably hot in DA2 and it's not fair. She is, like... She went from Swamp Witch to whatever the fuck she's wearing in DA2. But I mean... She wanted to look cool for Hawk, obviously. In front of Morgan, she's just pretending to be an old crazy swamp lady, obviously. So Flemeth is very tricksy. Does Choo-Choo drink tequila? Well, he wants to. Look at him. He's after my booze. You know, I'm sick of sketching James. Let's ink Choo-Choo again. I tried to ink him last time, but like I didn't like my inking from last time because I was too busy yelling at fucking Lily getting Dungeon Meshi wrong. Flemeth is the ultimate. Now we have to show everybody Flemeth, you guys. Jesus, okay. Just to really get them to play Dragon Age. Oh, there's a really good shot of her after she beats up a bunch of dudes. Let me see. And I know this will interest some people. She's voiced by Kate Mulgrew. You know, Captain Janeway. So, this is her after she flies in as a dragon and kills a bunch of dudes and then approaches you dragging one of their bodies and sashaying like a fucking badass. So, yes. We gotta love Flemeth. I stan Flemeth. Bitch, she's like 400 years old. She can have as much cleavage as she wants. See, Edge, have you ever been an edging streak? Edge? What the fuck are you talking about, Cosmo Mandy? So, yeah, so maybe reason for you guys to play Dragon Age is Flemeth here. That's her in Origins. Not Origins. God damn it. Inquisition. There she is in Inquisition. She looks a little more detailed. Oh, there's that awesome art of her, actually, though. I think from 2. I love the art style of 2, to be honest. I really do. I love how the Kunari look in 2. That's my favorite Kunari look. I don't like how... like, Inquisition is such a bad introduction to the Kunari. Because all you really get is Bull. And Bull is not a typical example of a Kunari. He's a Ben Haswith. So Bull's whole job is to go out into the world and act like a normal person in order to like spy for the Qun and convert people to the Qun. So Bull's personality, you see the entire game, isn't his real personality. It is a persona he has adopted to be a spy, basically. So ultimately, Bull's companion quest in Inquisition is whether that personality becomes his true self or whether he stays loyal to the Qun. And if you keep him loyal to the Qun, there's a very haunting scene in Trespasser where he will just turn on you on a dime when ordered to. And you kill him. And Cole, if you have Cole in your party, he says he thought nothing when he did it. Like, his mind was blank. He just turned on you because he was told to, because the Qun is certainty. And it was a demand of the Qun. And that is why the Qun is so fucking scary. And for those who don't know, God, I told you guys not to get me going on Dragon Age. The Qun is a religion and also a social structure that the Kunari follow. Kunari is not actually the name of a race. Anyone who is an adherent of the Qun is a Kunari. Unless they're Vidathari, which is someone who's a convert. But if you're born under the Qun, you're Kunari, no matter what your fucking race is. The Horned people don't really have a race name. Some people call them Oxmen, you know, but, like, they say Kunari as your choice in Inquisition, but more accurately, you would be a Vasath. Vasath, rather. You would be a Vasath, which is a Horned person who was not born under the Qun. A Tau Vasath is someone who was part of the Qun, but rejected it and is not anymore. And those people are basically seen as demons. Like, they're seen as people who have lost their souls. They're not human anymore. They're not people anymore because they've abandoned the Qun. If you're just not born under the Qun, you just don't know any better. But if you are a heretic, you're like the worst possible thing. Like, you're a zombie. You're not even a person anymore. You know? So, yeah, the Qun is like Plato's Republic almost. And actually, they're very similar to gems. Everybody has a role in society that they are assigned. And, you know, and they just follow the priests and leaders who interpret this philosophical book they all follow by their religion founder. So, and if something if something is said to be a demand of the Qun, you do it because the Qun is certainty. You don't have to question. All you have is the Qun. The Qun is certainty. So, yeah. It's very, very heavy brainwashing, really, is what it is. Yes, we're talking about Dragon Age. I am going to, for anyone who just got here, I am going to stream all 3 Dragon Age games before Veilguard comes out, because I am very, very, very familiar with Dragon Age. I've said a million times, if you guys think I'm crazy about Steven Universe, you have not heard me talk about Dragon Age. Which is why I said I would end Lily if she ever talked about it. Because she thinks it's EU. The Kunari are not Nazis. They're religious zealots, and they are Plato's Republic. That is what they are. They're not Nazis. They actually have a triumvirate of leaders. There's the priesthood, there's the Arishok, and then there's the leader of... The Arishok's the leader of the military. I forget what the fucking third one is, but there's 3. There's a triumvirate. So, honestly, everything you need to know about the Kunari, just listen to what the Arishok says in Dragon Age 2. He has some very fascinating speeches on his point of view, and the reason why I love the Kunari so much in Dragon Age 2 is that they are just a wall of just incomprehensible alien thinking that both the audience and the other characters in the game do not understand, and I love it. I actually understand them. I think they're wrong, but I understand them. So you don't get as much about the Kunari in Origins. They don't even have horns in Origins. They couldn't do horns in Origins, so they made up a lore thing later that if a Kunari or a horned person is born without horns, and that's like a sign of luck or something. So yeah. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought, but yeah. So the Kunari are very, very interesting as a civilization, at least. But yeah, you learn most about them in 2. Bull, like I said, Bull is not a very good example of the Qun unless you keep him loyal to the Qun and he fucks you over in Trespasser. And then you get a real taste of what the Qun is like. But yeah, Bull is not the best introduction to what Kunari are usually like. At all, because he's a Ben Hasrath. So, and again, Ben Hasrath, their whole job is to blend in with the normal people, to spy for the Qun and to get converts. So, yeah, he has his little fun crew of friends there, but, you know, he would make them submit to the Qun if he was told to. So just keep that in mind, unless you get him to become Talvasoth. So, yeah. Let's see, isn't there a dialogue in the 3rd game about the Arishok where it gets really confusing because the previous Arishok can still be alive and they... Oh yeah! That's the other reason why Kunari are like gems. They don't have names. They are called by what their role is. So the Arishok is not a name. So like Sten from the 1st game, Sten is the current Arishok. But Sten wasn't actually even his name. Sten just means soldier. He was a soldier, so he was called Sten. Now he's the Arishok, so he's called Arishok. So yeah, Kunari don't have names. They just are called by what their role in the Qun is. So again, very much like gems, in a way. It's very interesting. Gems are also very much like Plato's Republic. It's kind of the same general origin. So... that might be another reason why I really like the Kunari and like really understand them, even though I think they're completely wrong and dangerous and their religious thinking is completely insane. But so I think with this, I share my intoxicated brain dispute out to the chat. Well, a lot of people probably don't even understand what the hell I'm talking about right now. I think that the Dragon Age games are on Switch. They're definitely on PC. I've played them all on PC, Desi. And oh, if you like religions and social structures, oh boy, let me tell you about the Chantry. The Chantry is basically fantasy Catholic Church. Except the main prophet of the Chantry is Andraste, who was kind of a mix between Jesus and Joan of Arc. So the story goes that Andraste... It's okay. Oh god. I gotta go a little further back. So Tevinter, that I mentioned before, Tevinter used to rule over the entire continent. They were a lot like the Roman Empire. They built highways everywhere. And, you know, they had all these rules about citizenship and how to gain citizenship. But at some point in history, Andraste, or at least she is credited for it, struck down the Tevinter Imperium, and now they're just one country in the north. And there's, like, lots of different countries throughout the rest of the continent that have all split off from ancient times. So, so that's why Tevinter is also seen as evil, because, you know, they used to rule the whole place, so now they're the big evil mages who reside in the north. So, Andraste is credited for that, but then she was burned at the stake, and they say she was ascended to be by the Maker's side and be his bride, because she was the only one who the Maker talked to directly ever in history, the Maker being God, basically, in this world. And they never actually tell us if Andraste and the Maker are real or not. I don't think they ever will. It's very, you know, it's like real religion. Nobody knows if it's actually true. But because Andraste is the main prophet, only women can be priests in the Chantry. But it does control, like, it is a theocracy, basically. Despite any country's leader, the church has a big role in society, no matter what the country. Even Tevinter has their own version of the Chantry with their own pope. Because there was a schism. They let their pope be a guy because just fuck you, I guess. So, the whole thing with Andrastenism, though, is that Andraste supposedly said magic should serve man and never rule over him. So, the way the Chantry took that was, mages need to all be gathered up and kept in towers and guarded by Templars so they don't endanger anyone. And of course, in Tevinter, it's the opposite. Mages are the upper class, and they interpret that line as very different. So, there is a lot of religious politics in Dragon Age. If you're really into that shit, there is a ton. There is a ton. Plato's Republic is a story written by Plato about a supposedly perfect utopian society. And that kind of operated like that, where everyone is, like, assigned roles and stuff, so, yeah. Is this Dragon Age lore actual human history? A good question. I unfortunately know a lot about... I probably know more about Dragon Age lore than I do know about real history, unfortunately. Yeah, Dragon Age is somehow the most realistic / coherent depiction of a fantasy religion from any setting I know. That's why I fucking love Dragon Age. The lore is so well thought out. It has a huge series bible that they work from. And, like, the lore and the world building is just so fucking good. Again, I have never played Dragon Age for the gameplay. The gameplay is ass in very different ways in every single game. I will probably be playing them on easy just to get us fucking through. Like, I never would have finished Origins if it wasn't for the plot, honestly. I never would have. Especially since it's really old Baldur's Gate style. But I fucking love the world, I love the lore, I love the writing, you know, oh god, it's so good. So if you, so actually just watching me play them might be better for some people, because like I said, the gameplay is not actually that great in most of the games. So, yeah. I was just joking about that with another Dragon Age fan on Tumblr. Like, imagine playing Dragon Age for the gameplay, and they were like, yeah, don't people know it's just a really complicated dating sim? Oh, what did you send me, Jay? Let's see. Oh, no. I'm scared. What is this? He has sent me something. Hang on. Let me see if I can bring up Discord. I think I had a thing for it, unless I can get this open in the browser. Oh wait, copy link, I can. Okay. Let's see here. Go back to the browser and get the thingy up again. Everyone's distracting me today. Like I'm distracting myself talking about Dragon Age or anything. I'm gonna see Flemeth again. Alright, Jay, what is this nonsense you have sent me? Oh. It's making me download it. Well, fuck you. Okay, fine, I'll download it and then I'll open it. How's that? Piece of crap. No, it's opening it in the... opening it in... I just want to open it in my browser. Why are you making this so difficult? Alright, where are my current downloads? Show me this. Thank you. I just want to open it in my fucking browser. There we go. It's still having me download it. Damn it, Jay, I'm just gonna have to watch it later. I'm sorry. It looks like it's Steven versus Jack Horner, though. Oh, wait, we're on my other one now where I was looking up Dragon Age lore. Oh, if you like this music, I'm always shouting this guy out. If you like this current music, this is dated, ill-advised records. He's on YouTube. Yeah, we have Chichi on screen. I'll probably wrap up soonish, guys. Probably around 4:30 today. Just gonna be, like I said, normal short art stream today. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm having so much trouble getting it open. I don't want to make people wait. Well, put it on Imgur or something and link me. Yeah, I like a lot of like dark sci-fi, dark lo-fi music. So let me just double check if I have a window for Discord. I don't think I do, though. I think I used to, but I might have just gotten rid of it because I was like purging a bunch of like things I don't need. What's Dragon Age? Oh god, don't get me started again, Spooky! Okay. Jay is upset with me. Dragon Age is a series of video games I really like, and I'm going to stream all frickin' 3 of them soon because the new one finally comes out in the fall after 10 fucking years! It has literally been 10 years! Convince me to be an Iron Bull fan. Oh, you can like Bull all you want. And like I said, there is some interesting stuff about him. I just feel like he's a little underwritten, and I I didn't really care about him as much as other characters. Though there is some interest, like, you get a few interesting tidbits with Bull that show you he really is a spy. Like, I think there's one banter he has where he's, like, noticing, like, the way a guy, like, ties his apron, and he can tell he's, like, a spy from Antiva or something because of that, you know? And there's a whole banter he has with Solus, where the two of them are having, like, an invisible chess game every time they talk. So Bull is very smart. He's very sneaky. He's very schnicky. But I wish we had just gotten a little bit more of that with him, because it seemed like most of him was just like, ha ha, funny sex jokes, hee hee ha ha hoo hoo. You know, so, like, I would have liked a little bit more intrigue with Bull. Because otherwise I just find him really boring. And like I said, Patrick Weeks also wrote Solus and Cole, so I think he maybe had his hands full with that, because those are two very complicated characters. And then, of course, Bull has all his little superfluous friends around who I also don't really fucking care about, because they're also underdeveloped, and I just don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I can't even remember all of their names.
Call Me Based sent a super chat. After watching your Utena and Dameshi streams, I really would love more anime/manga vids from you. Your research/takes are great. Unlike a certain her.
Oh, thank you, Call Me Based. That's the funny thing is I don't really research. I guess watching Dunmeshi to talk about Dunmeshi was research, I suppose, but yeah, Utena, like, the first time I talked about Utena that made me make that first video responding to Lily, that was me just talking about the show after not having seen it for 15 years and not even expecting to talk about it. So, yeah. You remember Krem? And I think one is called Stitches. I wouldn't even be able to tell you if not, like I said, I did not care about Bull's gaggle of superfluous underwritten friends. I just didn't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They probably could have gone somewhere with them if they had time or effort or what, but like I just don't fucking care. I'm sorry, I don't care about those guys at all. I still don't let them get killed, yeah, but I just don't care about them. What's wrong with being a Radiohead fan? I'd be fucking playing Radiohead if I was allowed to. Doesn't Krem get a girlfriend in Trespasser? The bard chick. The bard chick. What is her name? God damn it. Or at least he's interested in her. Yeah, I think she can also end up with Cole if Krem's dead. So I don't know. Or something. I forget. Cause like if you let Bull's little friends die, he stays loyal to the Kyun. If you rescue them, he doesn't. That's really the crux of it. That's about all they're good for, unfortunately. And that cutscene is like really badly made. It's like so lazy. It's like they really undercooked these characters and didn't really have time to flesh them out. And it's unfortunate, but like I just can't care. Oh, if you go the spirit path with Cole, he matchmakes Krem. Okay. Okay. I'm remembering now. Yeah, I don't... Weeks, why is it because Cole becomes more human, he gets a girlfriend? That's a little weird, Weeks. I don't know about that one, bro. But... So... Let's see. Between Lily releasing her drama video on the same day as the Utena stream and giving Sai a direct shout out in today's video, I swear Lily's actually definitely size the correct... Not Krim, sorry, Krem. Krem is a character in Dragon Age who is actually also a trans man, Krim, so maybe you'd be interested. Voiced by Jennifer Hale, actually. So there you go. Commander Shepard herself. So... But yeah, like, unfortunately, outside of Krem, all those other, like, fucking Bull's friends characters are just, they're pointless. I'm sorry. It could have just been Krem, you know? You didn't need all of them. Maybe Krem and one other person. You didn't need the whole fucking kit and caboodle of all of those useless fucking characters. You could have just fleshed out the ones you had. You know? Or just Krem. It would have been fine with just Krem. I don't care about the rest of those motherfuckers. Krem has a lot of memes around him because there's a glitch where he's supposed to be sitting in a chair drinking, but sometimes he'll end up sitting on top of the back of the chair and he's just like shoving the bottle in his face instead. So there's lots of fan art of Krem just not being able to sit properly in a chair. It's really funny. It's just a really funny glitch that happens sometimes when you enter the bar. I don't know why it happens. Probably just complex game code going crazy, but you have that same glitch where you just sit on the back of a chair and just shove a bottle in your eyeball. Wait, let me see if I can find a picture of it. Hang on a second. So I know I've seen some really fucking funny fan art. So, because I know... Well, there's a cosplayer making fun of it, too. I fucking love cosplayers. I love cosplayers so much. Let me see if we can find some good memes on it. Let me hang on. Because I'm remembering this now. That's right, not only he sometimes is just standing on the chair by accident. So there's a cosplayer doing that. Standing on a chair as Krem. But I swear, like, sometimes he's sitting on the back of the chair and just putting the bottle in his face. Yeah, somebody did draw that. That's one up here. It's the glitch that happens sometimes. Where he's just sitting on the back of the chair and the bottle's just going, like, right in his eye. And of course, Dragon Age fans meme on that. We meme on everything. We are one of those fandoms that just makes fun of the thing we love so much. We are just constantly ragging on it. Oh, no more funny Krem chair pictures, unfortunately, but I remember that little sticker set is so funny. Like, Dragon Age fans will latch on to anything and make a joke out of it. So, I know it is insane it's the life in the game, because you know what? You know fucking what? Dragon Age Inquisition had the best first 2-week sales BioWare has ever had. And then they made Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem.
Sent a super chat. Chair.
I'm glad you all enjoyed Krem's chair shenanigans. Yeah, so the Krem glitch just gets so much fucking play just because it's so funny. Like, you walk into the bar and he's just either standing on the chair or sitting on the back of it, shoving the bottle right in his eyeball, and you're like, Krem, what are you doing? I think once you talk to him, he fixes himself, but it's so funny. And it doesn't happen all the time. It just happens occasionally. It's something about when you enter the bar. I don't know. It's something happens. It just doesn't. He just doesn't load right. Let's see, my housemate installed a mod like Cullen, I think, get romanced by a female PC of any race, and the kiss when you're a Kunari, he just buries his face in your tits. The same thing happens with Solus. So, hang on. Let me find a picture of that, actually. Solus Kunari romance mod. Because it's like... Yeah, oh, there we go. I found a gif of it, even. So, the Kunari are very tall. If you haven't figured that out, the Kunari are very tall, and because the horned folk, I should say, alright? I'm like breaking my own rules here. The horned folk are very tall, and you can play one in Inquisition, and the camera angles don't always work, so somebody did make a mod for romancing Solus as a Kunari, and this is a really funny gif from it. Everyone's like, he just gets right in there. Right in those titties. It's supposed to be a kiss, but obviously the character model is too tall. You gotta be careful with your mods, kids. Unfortunately, Lily wouldn't play Dragon Age because there's no mods to romance your siblings. Oh no, there is for Dragon Age 2 though. Ew. Stay away from Dragon Age 2, Lily. Please. I don't need you doing Bethany like that. You would kill Carver. You wouldn't be a mage just so you can have Bethany. I bet you anything, Lily. If you don't know, there's a Sophie's Choice at the beginning of Dragon Age 2. You have 2 siblings, and depending on which class you are, one of them will die. If you're a mage, Carver lives. If you're anything else, Bethany lives. So I main a mage because I like romancing Fenris as a male mage because it is really pertinent to his backstory, so... Sorry, Bethany. I do like you. It's not like when I kill off Kimberly Brooks in Mass Effect because I really hate Ashley. I'm sorry, Kim. We got more dated music on if anyone was enjoying that. Oh god, it's so hot today. I'm getting sweaty. I hate this. Solus has good taste. You can only, canonically, you can only romance Solus as a female elf, and he wasn't even gonna be a romance at first. So, but it makes sense for Solus, though, that he is both gender and race gated. So, and you have to play DA2. Oh yeah, you have to play DA2 twice to get to know them both. Obviously, I started out with Bethany because I was I'm usually a rogue. I'm usually a rogue. So my first Hawk was a female rogue, and actually I had a really funny joke about my Hawks. I haven't really played my female Hawk in a long time, unfortunately. I think her name was Edith, because I just fell in love with the whole M-Hawk mage and Fenris story. I can't help myself. I love them so much. I caught all the feels when I thought it was just gonna be silly. So like, I'll romance Fenris as a mage for lulz, and then all the feels happened, all of them at once. And Fenris is my favorite Dragon Age character now. Where is that funny art I did, though? Like, ages ago. It's probably like 2016 or something. Right here somewhere. Come on now. What the hell is it? I don't even see it! Gotta be up here somewhere. I didn't delete it, did I? I don't think so. Or I didn't tag it. Maybe I didn't tag it Dragon Age. Oops. Hang on a second. Let me just check. Look at the Hawk tag. That's what I need. Let's see. There it is! Oh, I labeled it Dragon Age 2, that's why it didn't come up. So, a lot of people, they'll take male and female Hawk and, like, you know, treat them like twins sometimes. So I did a joke about that because my 2 Hawks look so different. It'd be really funny if they tried to say they were twin AU. And Varric's just like, are you sure you're twins? It's like, come on, we're practically the same person. The joke being that they are the same person. It's 2 different versions of the character that I made. So that's my male Hawk though, my boy Gerald. So you can pick their first names, but they're just called Hawk no matter what anyway. So that's how it works in BioWare games. A multiplayer mode for Twin Hawks would be so funny. Imagine having 2 of those sarcastic bastards around. The voice of female Hawk is the voice of Ciri from the Witcher games, by the way. What's her name? I keep forgetting her name. Ciri voice actor. Jo Wyatt, that's her name. I knew it started with a J. Jo Wyatt is female Hawk, and she's very good. She's very funny. But I find Nick Bolton, the male Hawk, just a little funnier. Wyatt tends to have a very samey delivery on all of her jokes, whereas he changes it up a bit more. I just find him a little funnier. And again, the romance with Fenris made me like fucking... And the other thing too is the romance with Fenris was written by David Gator. Again, very, very gay man, creator of Dragon Age. And you can tell it was written for a male romance first. Because a lot of times when you get like the gay version of a romance in a game, it was obviously written for like the straight version first. Complete opposite with Fenhawk. It was very obviously written for 2 men. And you can just kind of throw the female version on there. I'm not saying it's bad to do female Fenhawk, but I just prefer the male character. And obviously, I'm not gonna do a hetero romance. Are you kidding me? The one time I did it was Solus. Look how that turned out. So yeah, I just like the voice acting a little better. I like the poignancy of romancing Fenris as a male mage. Yeah. So I just prefer all of that. So it's nothing against Jo Wyatt herself. I just have my canon and I'm stuck in it. I usually play female character first, male second. I just happen to fall in love with my second playthrough, so... Solus is racist? Yeah, he is. Solus barely sees anyone around him as a real person. Actually, oh my god. Men Doing Manly Things had a really good... We're just talking about Dragon Age now. Men Doing Manly Things had a really funny... Yes, perfect. This is a hilarious comic and I love it so much. It's like, get to know Solus, they told me, this is called. If I could have a moment of your time, Inquisitor, I just wanted to say, you Kunari as a people may be mindless, soulless, violent brutes inherently driven to barbarism, just blindly obedient savage monsters with no capacity for intellectual reasoning or compassion, completely dependent on indoctrination to a rigid binding of the Qun to prevent their complete descent into impulsive animalistic truculence. Short-sighted beasts completely lacking in civilized socialization necessary for understanding selflessness and altruism. But you aren't like them. I find the longer we spend together, the more I find myself respecting you. Thanks! Wish I could say the same. He is like that. He really is like that. I don't know if Kunari existed when Solus first did his thing and then went to sleep for 1 billion years. It wasn't 1 billion years. It was probably maybe more like 2,000, maybe even just 1,000. I don't know. But he put up the veil and he went to sleep and he woke up and he was like, oh fuck, this is all wrong. I need to fix this. And then he tried to fix it. And then that made the events of Inquisition happen. And there was a big fucking hole in the sky leaking demons. And he was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And now he's still trying to fix it. And Solus, stop trying to save the world. You're really, really bad at it, Solus. You're really fucking bad at it. Just stop, dude. So, he doesn't think anyone's worth it. He basically thinks like his mentality is almost like, you know, like, oh, I fucked up the save file, I'm gonna go back. Like, he really doesn't see anyone around him as a real person. He's just like, oh, this is all like a temporary bad future world that I need to fix now. You know, a little like the fun adventures with time travel you do with Dorian when you meet him if you take that quest, is a little bit of a microcosm of what's going on with Solus. He's just like, oh, I've woken up in this terrible future. I need to fix this. That is his mentality. You know, really. You changed an otaku journalist's opinion on Dragon Age 3. Did you change it for the worse, Kaiser? Solus spent too much time in RuneScape. I'm not even sure Solus is in his own body, to be honest. Here's another crack theory of mine. So in the book The Masked Empire, there's a character named Thelasan, who is named after a story about the Dreadwolf, and he's clearly in service to the Dreadwolf, or in service to Solus. And at the very end of that book, Thelasan goes to a special place to meditate and commune with the Dreadwolf in the Fade. And the Dreadwolf basically kills him in the Fade. So my theory is Solus is using Thelasan's body. And that's not even what he really originally looked like. That is a theory I have. I don't know if that's true, but this is kind of a cracked theory I came up with after I read The Masked Empire, so. That means Solus is a furry and an elf furry. I forget what, I don't know if they ever explained why they call him the Dreadwolf. It does sound, from what we know, and from shit Cole says, because Cole, okay, I have to explain Cole now. Cole is kind of what I based, Star Sapphire on, actually. Cole is a spirit. He's a spirit of compassion. He ended up coming to this young boy who was locked in a dungeon and forgotten about. He was an unregistered mage, and he was thrown in a dungeon and forgotten about and starved to death. And the spirit of compassion was so moved by this, he basically took on the form of that boy. So he's a little ghost boy. He didn't know really in the book he was introduced in, he didn't really know what he was at first, because the thing about spirits in Dragon Age is they can't create anything, and they can't decide on their own form. They are influenced by the waking world, by things around them. So, like, ghosts in Dragon Age are actually spirits cosplaying as someone who died and maybe passed through the fade on their way to wherever dead people go. So, yeah, ghosts are just spirits cosplaying, basically, in Dragon Age. It's kind of funny. So Cole was so moved by this poor boy, he basically took on the form of this boy. And so he looks human, but he is a spirit. And Cole can read the pain of people around him because he is a spirit of compassion. So he's constantly, like, muttering and mumbling people's secret feelings around them. So if you listen to a lot of what he says when it comes to Solus, it sounds like Solus was a spirit at some point, and Mathal basically gave him a form. And after that, at some point after that, he became Fenharal, the Dreadwolf. So it's all very mysterious still, but I have my theories. And again, I'm going really deep into Dragon Age lore that no one is going to understand if they haven't played all the games. And Cole is now no longer allowed within 5 miles of dead boy. Oh, shut up. The boy died and the spirit of compassion took on his form because, again, spirits are influenced by the waking world around him. We did find out in Inquisition, because Meryl had claimed this in 2, but we didn't know if it was true or not yet. She claimed that spirits and demons are the same thing. So a lot of people think spirits are the good ones, demons are the bad ones. She says they're the same thing, and everyone was really skeptical about that. But then we come to find in Inquisition that it's true in a way. Like, a spirit can be corrupted into a demon depending on what the humans around it are doing. So if there's, like, lots of bloodshed in a certain area, the spirits in that place are going to become demons from the negativity and the violence. So, like, there's a group of people who tried to summon a spirit to protect them, and they end up summoning a spirit of wisdom, but because their desires corrupted it, it became a pride demon. So spirits of wisdoms can become pride demons. Spirits of compassion can become fear demons. You know, it depends on what they're being influenced by. So it's again, the lore is so fucking interesting and good, and I love it. And again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you get me fucking talking about Dragon Age, I'm never gonna stop. Yeah, Meryl was right about that. She was not right about blood magic, and I will stand by that. Even though she was my waifu for my female hawk. But yeah, blood magic still I don't think is a good thing. And blood magic works differently than magic from the Fade. And also, like, then there's the stuff Templars can do, which is almost like anti-magic. Like, it kind of functions like magic, but it dispels magic. And Cole says something about them reaching to something even deeper and more ancient in order to have that power. So that's sure interesting. And then, oh, of course, and then there's Lyrium and the Titans. I haven't even fucking talked about the Titans. Dear God, they're still theoretical. Though, maybe not so much after Descent. That was a DLC for Inquisition. So, Lyrium is this blue metal that is toxic to most people. It'll basically give you mercury poisoning. It can fucking kill you if you touch raw Lyrium. Dwarves can handle it because dwarves don't have magic, and dwarves don't dream, and dwarves have no presence in the Fade. So, a lot of, even the church, like, says, like, the maker didn't make dwarves, basically. Nobody really knows where the fuck they came from. It seems like they might have been, like, little familiars of the Titans, which, again, we're not really sure what they are. We just kind of vaguely know they might exist, and that Lyrium might be their blood. So, and Lyrium can catch the blight, meaning it is a living thing. So, yeah, but Lyrium is what you use to make magic potions so healers can get their mana back. Just so you know. Again, I will be playing... you should start with Origins. I say you could start with Inquisition, the most recent one. You can. But if you want to get the full experience, start with Origins. It goes Origins 2, Inquisition. 2 doesn't even get a fancy title. Poor Hawk. Hawk is like the misfit middle child of the series. In every single way. Hawk doesn't even save the day at the end. Everything ends up tragically. Oh, God. Are likes private? No, likes are only private if you pay for Twitter Blue. I'm not gonna pay for Twitter Blue just to like your Wani porn. Is that what the people feel when you talk about FNAF? Probably. We all love Hawk. We love that Hawk is a fucking disaster. We all love him / her. I will normally just call the Hawk him, because I play a male Hawk. Just like I'll usually call Commander Shepard her, because I play a female Shepard. So. Eat me. Yeah, DA2 is not a bad one to start with, actually. DA2 is where the series really started to get its own identity, and it is a very enclosed story. You're in one city the entire game, basically. So it's not like a grand road trip adventure like Origins and Inquisition is. And like I said, 2 has the best cast of characters. Honestly. So... Then you can just kill Hawk on the 3rd one. I know! You know, no, Sherlock, I had a terrible thought one time. You know what would have been really fucked up? You know what would have been really fucking fucked up? What if the Warden in Here Lies the Abyss could have been Carver? Do you imagine having to choose between Carver and Hawk of who stays behind in the Fade? That would fucking kill me. I'm glad nobody thought of that. I'm glad Patrick Weeks wasn't that evil that day and thought of that. Can you imagine, though? I would, like, be staring at the screen for an hour not being able to decide if that happened. Like, do I let Hawk live but kill his baby brother, or do I let Carver live and kill Hawk? Oh my god! Don't make me choose! You'd fucking uninstall the game! Yeah, Carver or Bethany. Imagine if it could have been Carver or Bethany as the Warden. Like, one of the choices for who the Warden could have been. Could you imagine? God, I would die. I would fucking die. I did leave Hawk in the Fade one playthrough just to see what would happen. I think in my 2nd playthrough. But obviously I couldn't leave my baby boy behind. Are you kidding me? You know how hard I worked on, you know how fucking hard I worked on him in Inquisition to make him look really good? That's it. I'm just gonna show you guys all, like, I'm gonna open my wallet and show you pictures of my Hawk. He's my son boy. I know I have a whole folder of them on Imgur. Because I'm insane. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, show you my baby pictures now. So, here's my boy Hawk. So, hang on, I'm just gonna adjust the screen a little bit here. So actually, here's my comparison of, like, how I designed him in Inquisition with some mods, clearly, and what he looks like when I make him in 2. I'm gonna have to remake him because I've lost my save data on my old hard drive that I broke by accident. So I'm just gonna have to remake him when we start the game. But, yeah, so I do not even want to, I don't even want to say how many hours I spent getting him right, but it was a lot. I don't know what I'm gonna do when we play Inquisition. I'm gonna have to, like, just pause and, like, do it off screen and come back. So here's some... I gave him, like, a very beaky nose in 2 because I thought it was funny because he's Hawk, you know? He looks like a bird, man. So there's my boy. And then here's some good shots of him from, Inquisition. I had to get a hair mod and an eyebrow mod to make him look good! But I did it! Oh yeah, some of my art's in here too, actually. Here's a really cute picture of Hawk and Fenris, my OTP for Dragon Age. So, there you go. There's my boy. This is some really old art. Oh yeah, and somebody said... somebody was, like, flirting with my Hawk. Oh, there's the fucking twinsies picture right there. Oh yeah, and if anyone knows Fenris' story, I said I almost gave him a beard that kind of looked like Daenerys's from, 2, and I don't think Fenris would be very happy about that, so yeah. God, imagine, guys, imagine me liking a character with white hair and marks all over their bodies and a distinct voice who blows and punches people. Imagine me liking a character like that, guys. You see, but Jaspinel is different because the tall one is the white-haired grumpy one and the small one is the goofball. You see, it's a completely different dynamic. He would shave it in Hawk's sleep, he would. Fenris can be a little feral sometimes. I'm not one of those people who thinks Fenris is like a rage monster, like some people mischaracterize him as. I get so angry when I'm reading fanfiction and people have him swear in English. He only swears in Tavine. If he's swearing in English, it means he's really pissed. Like when he calls what's her face a bitch after he killed her. I know that sounds bad out of context, but trust me, it was deserved. Hadriana, that's who. Hadriana, when he murdered her and he called her a bitch. That was like the first time he like said like an English swear. He's usually saying like I don't know what the fuck are the swears in Tevinter. Yeah, Fenris is that boyfriend who just he starts talking in his native language when he's upset. Of course, Fenris is a bit unhinged, but he's not like constantly raging. Like he tells jokes, especially as the game goes on. He gets more comfortable with everybody. He gets a little more jokey, and he gets a little more like, you know, he loosens up a bit. So at first, of course, he's very, very uptight when he first joins the party because he's a former slave on the run with lyrium embedded in his skin, whose abusive master possibly had a very well, it's implied that Daenerys had a sexual relationship with his slave, so there's also that. But yeah. Let's see, he's not angry all the time, maybe as a rival. Yeah, I don't do the rival mance. I tried it one time, and I didn't like how bitchy Hawke and Fenris were at each other, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go back to the friendship romance, even though I know David Gator likes the rival mance more. But, personally, I like the friendship. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in Dragon Age 2... See, this is the thing about Dragon Age 2. It was made in 18 fucking months, but it is incredibly dynamic. So, you have rival points and friendship points with each of the companions, and they will behave differently depending if you're like if you're like majority rivalry or majority friendship. So even the romances will be different depending on, you know, the rivalry and friendship points. So yeah, I hate rival man. Yeah, I hated like he got really bitchy about the book I gave him in the rival mance. Like he was really, and I was like, you know, I don't like this. I prefer the friendship romance. It's sweet. It's sweet and it's fun and they're just so cute together. I love them. But yeah, Fenris can be very spicy sometimes, but he's like I know I said Tevinter is like the Roman Empire mixed with Imperial China, but they are very Italian up there. They're very hand-talky. They are very... like, Fenris will spit on the ground as an insult. Like, they're very Italian up in Tevinter. It's kind of funny, actually. Dorian, you see a lot of it in Dorian, too. They're very, very Italian. It's like, so they're like fantasy Italy, Roman Empire, Imperial China, and like, Orlea's fantasy France, Antiva is fantasy Spain, you know, Navarra is like fantasy Germany / something, I don't even know. Ravane is like Morocco, Egypt, Africa. I don't know. We haven't really seen Ravane, but but yeah, so you do get echoes of real world cultures in a lot of the Dragon Age countries, but they do have their own unique flair as well. So but that's just why I like to call like Orlais fantasy France, because it fucking is. They even like the Ferelden's even call them Ponzi cheesemongers, you know. Ferelden is obviously rural England. That's Ferelden. It's muddy and everybody has dogs. Oh god, it's great. And everyone thinks they're like backwater bumpkins. They're not as sophisticated as the Europeans. Yeah, basically, well, I guess Antiva is also kind of fantasy Italy. It's like fantasy spinility, you know? There's a mix of a lot of things in each of them. Which is why I'm always laughing. Like, there's already people online going like, there's people with dark skin in this game. Obviously, Dragon Age is going woke. And it's like, Dragon Age always has had racial diversity, and there's actually a good reason for that, because again, the Tevinter Imperium used to rule the entire continent, and they built big highways everywhere, so people have been moved around for centuries. So each country does have a racial mix of appearances. people are more often to be people will more often be discriminated against in Thedas by their accent than their skin color. Because your accent tells them where you're from, you know, basically. I think it's like the dwarves invented the trade language, and dwarves have American accents. And elves who live in alienages have American accents. And the Dalish elves used to have American accents, and now they have Welsh accents. And Ferelden has English accents, Orlais has French accents, and Tiva has mostly Spanish accents. Tevinter tends to be a little all over the place with how they talk, but that's okay. I'm trying to think of who else kind of stands out. Ravain, they're just also kind of like more posh English, I think. Oh, the Scottish are just like that one city-state.
Bonnie
thank
sent
you.
a super chat. Your vibes have really helped me these last few days for good work entertainment. You influenced me to watch Utena, and I've already started making my cosplay for it. Love your
nice.
stuff.
Oh, people have been... Oh, man, cosplaying Utena is always fun. People love making those outfits. Thank you very much for the super chat. Maybe I'll get you into Dragon Age 2. That's what we've been talking about this entire freaking stream, about how I'm gonna eventually stream all 3 Dragon Age games. Not eventually, very soon, actually. So, it's part of... That's my whole YouTube channel, is my big evil plan to get everybody into the shit I'm into. There you go. And then, I think after the big Dragon Age time, I'll have you guys vote. So Dragon Age is probably going to take us most of the rest of the year, to be honest, because the new game comes out in fall. So, yes, my whole plan all along was just to induct everybody to Dragon Age fans. I'm sorry, look, Dragon Age fandom has awakened, alright? We've been buried. We've been in our Uthenera, and we've finally awoken to the world. Tevinter's kind of have fancy accents. I think they retroactively based how people in Tevinter talk on Fenris, who is voiced by Gideon Emery, who has a very unique accent. He has a South African accent, though he sounds a little British as well. Gideon Emery's great. He's one of my favorite voice actors, not just because he voices Fenris. Some of you may know Gideon Emery as the voice of Balthier from Final Fantasy XII, if you want any idea of who I'm talking about. It's funny, when he does an American accent, though, like, he disappears. He fucking disappears to my ears. I can't tell it's him. He's Biggs in Final Fantasy VII Remake, actually. That's Gideon Emery doing an American accent, which, again, I can fucking never tell it's him when he does, for some reason. His voice becomes invisible to me. But other times, I hear him, like, as a background actor in a game, and I'm like, oh, hi, Gideon Emery! So, yeah, well, no, it's not your fault. That trailer that dropped yesterday, I'm excited again now, after years of trepidation. Because I was saying this to my friend's husband, who's also a big Dragon Age fan. It's like, look, I have been, like, nervous about every single game that's ever come out in this series, okay? So, like, I'm kind of, like, you know, I'm kind of over it. I'm just gonna see where it goes. But again, I really don't trust any game after this because Mary Kirby's gone. So you're really gonna have to win my trust there, Dragon Age team, if we ever get another game before EA closes BioWare inevitably. But, you know. Yes, Gideon Emery's done a lot of voice work in Call of Duty. What else has he done a lot of voice work in? I know he was in the Wolfenstein games, some of the new ones. Was he in Destiny? He was in Destiny. No, it wasn't Destiny. It was some other game. But, Squeenix mentioned. You can't escape the DA indoctrination! South African always sounds British to non-Africans. That makes sense, because he does sound kind of British-y to me, but it's you can tell it's different. But again, he has a very distinct voice. So, yeah, especially as Fenris, he's like at his deepest and gruffest and growliest, you know. So, and most sarcastic. Fenris can be very sarcastic. A lot of people don't give him enough credit for that. Is DA2 like $5? Yeah, they're probably really cheap on Steam right now. I think I have them on Origin. Well, I have like all the game cases actually displayed on my my wall here, but yeah, I think I have them all on Origin just because I literally bought them all on CD because that's how old these games are. So So I'm gonna have to reinstall Origin. Ugh. Or rebuy them on Steam. We'll see. It is a miracle they're still around, especially after fucking Anthem. I still have no idea why on God's good green earth BioWare decided they were gonna make a Destiny clone. I have no idea who made that decision. Apparently it wasn't even EA. Apparently it was BioWare themselves that made that decision, which I have trouble conceiving of, but... like, why would you not just stick to story-based RPGs? That's your bread and butter. That's what you're good at. Why did you make a Destiny clone? What the fuck was even the point of that? The flying mechanics were cool. The game had nothing else to it. At all. I actually bought it and played it. I considered it my down payment for the next Dragon Age game because I didn't want BioWare to fucking crash and burn. As old as your mom and over 12 years younger than your dad. Well, that's awkward. Talking about my Smug James? Oh yeah, Smug James. I haven't started inking him yet, but I've definitely cleaned him up for my rough sketch. If you can visibly tell it's James, I've done my job. So, I think I said I was gonna have like Wikipedia on his phone here. I was originally gonna give him a rose, but I think he's just gonna have a phone with Wikipedia on it. I could probably make the phone a little bigger actually. iPhones are pretty fucking big these days, aren't they? I wouldn't know. I have like a 12 mini because I don't like my phones being fucking huge. Hello, organic life form. The art has been posted to the internet domain Tumblr. To celebrate, I will consume a liquid container full of fermented fruit fluid and eat bovine flesh in disc format with a slab of milk loaf. Have a satisfactory period of 24 hours and enjoy your current series of events. I have no idea what's going on, but these messages are very funny. Was a mentally sane sci fan? Oh god, that says a lot about me, yeah. But yeah, like I said, when Dragon Age 2 was first coming out, everybody was like doom-spelling BioWare right then and there. And like, Christ, you know. And like I said, I went into Dragon Age 2 wanting to hate it, and now it's one of my favorite games, and I've played it like 8 fucking times, you know? In fact, like just playing Inquisition and playing Here Lies the Abyss with my save file imported, and hearing the Fear Demon, like, try to scaremonger Hawk about his family dying and how Fenris is going to die too, like, reawoke in my Fenhawk trash brain, and I went and replayed Dragon Age 2 again! So... oh, yes, I am Fenhawk trash. I don't really care about any of the other romances as much as I do about that one in the games either, so... In Origins, what we're gonna do is what I usually do with my main, is he'll have a thing with Morrigan, but he's ultimately going to romance Zevran. Thank you for the super chat.
Confused Cabal sent a super chat. I personally feel Anthem could have grown to be good if it hadn't been killed so quickly. We could have had Sky Pirates. Sky Pirates.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, it had potential, but even when it released, it was like little more than a tech demo. I mean, I did enjoy my time with it. I liked the flying mechanics a lot. I think I was playing one of the more skinny roguey boys, a lot. So, yeah, so me and my friend played it a bit, but like, it just got so repetitive because the only thing to do in the damn game was the same 3 fucking dungeons. So it was like, okay, so I have like literally nothing else to do here. And I really don't care about looter shooters, so, like, it was just, like, the story was like a nothing burger. It was disappointing. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be good, but, yeah. But see, that's what happened to me my first well, it wasn't actually my first playthrough. My first playthrough of Dragon Age Origins, I didn't finish. I did start as a female character. I was playing it on Xbox, I had rented it. And I said to myself, I think this would play better on PC. So I got a little 5-finger discount of it on PC and played it a bit and was like, I like this better, and I bought it. So my second character was my male Mahariel, and so that's what happened though. Like, I was fully planning to romance Morrigan because I knew you could only romance her as a male character, and I was fully planning to romance Morrigan, but I ended up finding Zevran to be a very interesting character, so I ended up going down the path of his romance instead. Because if you romance a character in Dragon Age, you always find out extra information about them. So, that's always interesting. So we'll probably just follow the path. In Dragon Age Origins and 2, we'll probably just follow the path of my canon. because I'm really picky about my canon in those two. And then with Inquisition, we're just gonna have a shit post of a playthrough because I have a really funny idea. And then when it comes to Veilguard, I mean, all bets are off. I'll probably make a female character. I'll probably just pick whatever sounds best to me, but I'm gonna be completely blind going into Veilguard. So, but with all of my Dragon Age lore repository in my brain. So, honestly, I think that would be kind of fun to be like, I know this series very well, but I'm also playing this blind, you know? So, no, you can't romance her as a female character. You can romance Leliana as a female character. You know, Miss, I had a vision that, the maker wants me to join your quest, and, I don't like Leliana, if you can't tell. I don't like how Leliana got to be in Dragon Age 2 and 3, even though you can cut off her fucking head in Origins. They're like, nah, she's our Mary Sue, we love her, she's gonna be in this game. Yeah, I know, see, remember how I call Lapis a writer's pet and Lara's a writer's pet in Steven Universe? I coined that phrase with Leliana, she is a writer's pet. It's not enough to, like, you can't quite call her Mary Sue. She's not like a Mary Sue character. She's not all powerful or anything, but she's obviously very inordinately favored by the writers to the point, like, beyond being useful to the plot. You know? So, I do not like Leliana for that reason, because they just keep shoving her in our face, and it's like, I don't like this fucking French bitch who talks about shoes. It is funny, though, actually. This is another reason why I want to show you guys my typical Dalish elf playthrough in Origins, because you can have a conversation with Leliana where you can, like, just make her sweat as she's trying to be, like, benignly, like, positively racist toward you. Because she's like, oh, but in Orlais, I can't do a French accent, so mind me. Oh, but in Orlais, even though all the elves work as servants, they still live good lives, and some of them are even more rich than you know, other people and humans, you know, normal people. And you can just keep like pushing her on her elf racism and just like making her sweat and babble, and it's so fucking funny. Like, when I play a Dalish elf in Origins, I am the most uppity Dalish elf that's ever existed. I always pick the options that are like, how dare you talk to me that way, Shem? You know, it's like, and my Mahariel is perhaps a bit racist toward humans himself, but he becomes buddies with Alistair, and it's fine. But that's just how I play him. I play him as a rogue rat bastard who is very uppity about being Dalish, and is a little racist against humans, and throws acid flasks at people when I get too frustrated with the combat. That's what happened last time I streamed it too, like 5 or 6 years ago. I got the recipe to make acid flasks, and I was just carrying 100 acid flasks at any given time. And when the combat was starting to annoy me, I just kept going, you know what, acid flask, and just like bombing the whole battlefield with acid. It's because I'm Dalish, isn't it? Low-key, yeah. Like, my Inquisition character was a little less snooty about it, but she was also very proudly Dalish. And I played her more as just like a simple, you know, tribal hunter who doesn't really understand magic or elven history very well, which makes it even funnier that I romanced Solus. He fell in love with her despite her being like a little barefoot gremlin who doesn't understand magic or her own history at all. I don't think it'll fail, because like I said, Inquisition sold very, very well at the time. But yeah, I have a lot of trepidation about the future of this series, unfortunately, since they canned a lot of the old writers. So it is basically my pocket sand. My Mahariel always has like poison on his blades and is always throwing acid at people. That's how I play him. Oh god, I made the mistake though when I did do that playthrough, and we might have to do this again because it was really funny actually. I made the mistake of picking the Yuri Lowenthal voice because it has a really infamous line that gets repeated a lot, and I thought people were exaggerating. I did not know it was as bad as it was. I did not know it really does fire constantly. They even joke about it in later games. So like if you pick that voice, your character your character in Origins doesn't talk. They don't actually talk. It's all dialogue based. I will have to read the dialogue on Origins. But they will make little comments, especially to you, the player, they will comment at you, the player. So sometimes when you click to do something, if you pick the fucking Yuri Lowenthal voice, the character will just say, "Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?" And like, they say it all the fucking time. Like if you pick the female equivalent of that voice too, they say it all the fucking time. It's ludicrous. It's fucking ludicrous how often they say it. And again, I thought people were fucking exaggerating. So we might have to pick that fucking voice just so we can get the "Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back" count. Yeah, we can make a drinking game out of it. Take a drink every time they say, "Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?" Anyway, it's about 4:30. So I'm gonna wrap up in a couple of minutes. I think I got a good amount of work on this done. I actually have to do some work for Cougar. Oh, you will die. It was just me and my friends basically when I was streaming Origins before. We were all just dying over it. Like, I think my friend clipped one where, like, I just opened a door and the character goes, "Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?" And I was just standing there for a minute like, really? Fucking really? Thank you for human information on Dragon Age, human origin sim known as Psy. Are you the YouTube AI trying to follow my my streams? Actually, I should see what the YouTube AI is saying about me right now. I don't think I can see it from my end. But isn't there a book to come out with Fenris and Hawk? I don't know. Fenris has some comics. I have them. Fenris has some comics. So I love reading about my boy. But no, the thing is they don't when they do books and when they do comics, they're very careful not to canonize any one choice from the games. So, like, you know, for people who didn't romance Fenris, having Fenris canonically be in a romance with Hawk would be pretty annoying. You know? So, I get that. Oh, apparently there's an AI on the YouTube chat now that will summarize what the stream has been about. Someone was showing it to me before, and it was like, the poor thing was, like, desperately trying to follow all the topics I was talking about, because that's just what my streams are like. My streams are pure ADHD. Let's see, we have 3 roles in my friend group Discord. Solavel in Hell, very good. Thirsty for Fenris and Morgan Simp, guess which one is you? Oh, are people still suffering in Solavel in Hell? I feel so sorry for them. I crawled out of there ages ago. I am so happy to see Dragon Age fans back out in the wild. My people gather. We have awoken. Again, I got into Steven Universe in the time Dragon Age has been dormant, so people have no idea what is coming. Oh god, that's great though. All right, I'm gonna wrap up now. But next week's stream is gonna be like this, just gonna be talky, chatty, dry, and then what is the week after next? Let's see, today's the 12th. The 19th, another talky chatty. 26th, I might go and do a react again, and I'll either do Lily's sibling video, which I might look at the transcript first just to see how batshit insane it is, or I'll do Lily's Lost Steven Universe video, which I am very excited to do. So maybe I'll have you guys vote, actually. So yeah, actually that's a good idea. So after next week, I'll have you guys vote on which react we do first, either the siblings video or the Lost Steven Universe video. I mean, I'm gonna do both, but I'll have you guys vote on which we do first. Anyway, thank you all for coming, and thank you for the super chats, guys. You guys are very generous. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting me and what I do and my nonsense. So I will see you guys next week, or I'll probably see you around online sometime. Goodbye.